Happy finally Friday, everyone. I've got meteorologist Davion Huggins
Hey.
holding down the fort. Myself as well. We've got some storms that are moving into the river valley. You can see that on the bottom right hand of your stream. Hope everybody had a great Friday. It was a beautiful day until it's not.
Yeah, right.
Until it's not. It's like, come on, storms. Really? You had to do this? Of course. Yeah. Let's see. We're going to start off with the comments. Slap Monkey. How about that? First.
Gold medal.
Warrior 790 is second. And we got Bria 1993 is third. And then we have this is third too. I don't know if it's tied for third. I think you're honorable mention, but appreciate your participation. And this is one comment right here. Man, that sky out in downtown Rogers is looking wild. Yeah. Well, let's check it out. I mean, it is kind of wild. We got to move the camera. Obviously, it's raining, and I know a lot of people were commenting if it was going to rain or not. And guess what? It's raining, and it's a good thing the Razorback game has been moved up because they run ruled basically everybody. The Sooners, and the game's over. So they don't have to worry and deal with storms. But let's talk about what's going on. So we've got some pretty nasty storms coming into the river valley. We're going to go into that, and we're going to check it out. I'm going to give you the latest on the warnings and track these storms for you. First of all, we'll start off with the big picture. And by the way, we got a brand new Mega Doppler computer. Oh yeah.
So fast. It is so fast.
It was greenish in the P Ridge area. So you got to point it west, Davion. Take that camera and point it
or
west.
Rogers or P Ridge?
Why does it look like the apocalypse? Because it's at sundown and we've got ambles. No, Rogers.
West view?
Yeah. So the sun is setting, and that's why. Here, I'll show you what we got.
The pole.
So yeah, it's looking like the apocalypse, an orangish sky. That's because you got precipitation. It's reflecting off of the sun rays, and let's take that point at northwest, if we will.
Clouds are on fire.
That is an amble, by the way, that you're seeing off in the distance. Let's look at some other cameras. This is our Kisser FM Weather Bug Network camera. Oh, we're zoomed way in on the smoke. We got to zoom out on that puppy.
Oh, on Kisser.
Oh, that was lightning right there too. Yeah. Take Kisser and just go west. Yeah, you got to go northwest still. It's looking right into the pole. It always is looking right into the pole.
Yeah, it's always fun. Tower view incoming.
Okay, so there's your tower view, but there's the storm.
I saw that lightning flash in the back.
Yeah. Let's turn the camera a little bit more to the right. So while Davion's doing that, and you got all the, you can do the 25 panel too, you know, where we can look at other views of the storm. So that sometimes can be a little slow. So first of all, we got lightning, as you saw. There's some lightning that's approaching Lincoln. There's some light rain. So what you're seeing in Rogers and Bentonville, just to let you know, it's not anything super major. It's not severe. There are some severe storms, though, that are happening, obviously, farther south. So, again, we've got this storm that's over northwest Arkansas. It's just a little bit of, thunder showers, if you will.
Some nice lightning on Cartwright.
That's about it. We do have some nice lightning on Cartwright.
Yeah, I got the 25 camera view up.
Okay, let's check that out, and we'll bring that back up here. So this is going to be from Mountainburg Cartwright camera. We're looking off to the west. Yeah, you can definitely see that cell. But this is all elevated as of now. There's a little bit of a circulation that we'll have to watch. We'll see if it gets down into the surface. There's a little bit of a hail core as well. And we'll take a look at that on Mega Doppler. But going back to Max 1, take a look back at Max 1. And here's what we've got. This storm that's approaching Westville, Fayetteville, Farmington, Prairie Grove, Lincoln. It's not severe, but it's got some lightning with it. You can see it kind of moving east-southeast. So Lincoln, get ready for some light to moderate rain and sometimes heavy rain. Now, this is the severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued. I'll zoom in on this. I'll give you the latest information. It goes until 8:30. And heads up, we got a newscast that we're recording at 8:30, so there's going to be times where I won't be able to talk as loud. Davion's looking at some circulations on Mega Doppler. We'll look at that here in just a bit. It looks like it's gusting out.
Yeah.
But hail is about to the size of $half. So quarter is 1 inch and 1.25 is $half. And we work our way southwest. There's another severe thunderstorm warning. The reason we're doing this live stream is because this is just now starting to enter into western Sequoyah County. Evening shade, possibly some ping pong ball sized hail. So ping pong size, that's 1.5 inches in diameter. Man, let's go back to, we could have some really cool, rainbow views, rainbow in Berryville. I bet you going and pointing east with that sun and the heavy rain, I bet you we can get a beautiful double rainbow.
Is this Rogers?
Yeah. Oh, that rainbow is going to be amazing. It's going to be super high arcing too. You want to point it southeast.
Gotcha.
And move the camera around. I might have missed it because the sun now is below the horizon. Let's move it left just a little bit. All right. Keep going. Yeah, it looks like it's trying. Now you can also, don't forget, you can take and drag that too in the center. There it is. Ooh. There's the high arcing rainbow. Look at that bad boy. Yeah, so only one side is showing. Tilt up a little bit too. Gotcha. And we can get that. Man, that is as high arcing of a rainbow as you can get. Now this is something cool for you, and you might not know about this, but one thing to see is with the rainbow that's high arcing, what that means is that your sun angle is very low. And when your sun angle is lower on the horizon, your rainbow arc is bigger. So that is cool. Get some other ones. Get some, get the Posey Mountain Weatherbow Network camera. Here,
this one's faster.
Yeah. Get to Posey and point that east. East. Oh, I think it's already on east. Yeah, you can actually see.
Yeah.
But the sun's going below the horizon, so we're missing it. That's cool. Yeah, let me bring this up on Posey Mountain.
Gravity looks like a mother.
New tornado warning.
Really high arcing. You got that 25 panel?
Yeah.
And then just make that full screen, and then we'll bring that up.
Gotcha.
So we got a new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued, and this covers all of Sequoyah County. And that's the reason why we're on right now, just to let you know about this on this Friday evening right before Mother's Day. So we got 1.5-inch hail, 60 miles per hour winds. Let's look at Mega Doppler on our new Mega Doppler computer. And Davion, you've been working
new severe thunderstorm warning.
Mega Doppler GR2 analyst like the back of his hand. So
yeah.
The sky is pink west of Ballard and blue to the east. Lots of lightning. Northwest at Fulbright. Rotation around evening shade. So there's a question. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at it. You can see the TBS that's showing up just to the north of evening shade. Let's zoom in on that in the center. And so what you'll notice is there is a little bit of rotation with it. It's not super tight, and it's not super, tight. It's not a major couplet, but it is a little bit of rotation. Now, the question is it surface-based? Judging by the lower dew points, I would have to venture to say no. I think this is more of elevated, and that's a mid-level meso that's showing up.
Actually just got an update. So the two cells that we're looking at right now are converging into an organized cluster, starting to transition into more of a wind threat.
Yeah.
So that means that some of these circulations will start to die off, but they do say that the environment does still support large hail.
Double rainbow and grab. I bet you grab it's got to be here. I'm gonna take advantage of these cameras here. Let's do this. Oh yeah. Man. Not anymore though. The sun angle dropped below, but let's take a look here.
It looks like an eye of the hurricane.
No kidding.
Little stadium effect going on.
Of course, east is viewing into the pole.
Lightning strike.
Yeah, we missed the rainbow. I didn't get to taste the rainbow tonight.
Nope. It's 8:15.
Oh, that was a good lightning strike. Now, see, this is why we moved the game up. And, we're not always wrong, folks. We're not always wrong. The game would have been in progress. There would have been lightning. It would have been a mess. All you had to do is move it up. The Razorbacks literally just cleaned house against the Sooners. And guess what? Everybody can go on their merry way, go on their graduation ceremonies and all that stuff, and everything's good. Here we go. We got a view of this cell now. Looking straight west. Our Kisser FM. Bring up the Kisser camera. There it is. Pow! Right on the Kisser. There you go. I'm going to hit record on that.
Saw some good lightning in that just a couple of seconds ago.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Perfect timing.
I'm going to take this and zoom this in here. Oh, yeah, there it is. Now see, it is kind of elevated because you can look. The leading edge of the storm is where that it's not typically like your supercell.
Nope.
Although that is a little bit of a lowering. I would say that is more surface based than what I originally thought.
Cargo hold, where's the tornado warning? No tornado warnings.
Nope.
Nothing's rotating.
It's rotating.
That
It's
much.
just not super tight.
Yeah, nothing's rotating to prompt a warning.
That is a cool view, though. Okay, for those wondering where this storm is headed, because that's why we do these live streams, just to let you know. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at this. That is a gorgeous view. So here's what I want to do. I want to go to Weather It Through. We're going to take this. We're going to go to Grab It. Not Grab It. I'm not thinking Kisser FM. Yeah. There we go. Look at that. Man, that is a beaut.
That is impressive.
So we're going to do both, just so we don't ever lose sight of that. Okay.
Sunset in the background, too.
So first of all, let's get the motion of this. This is moving southeast at about 35 miles per hour. So now we can take this, track it, track the most dangerous portion of the storm. And it's going to be right about here. And we'll go southeast. And there's the areas that are going to be impacted. Now you can't see that on a small screen, so I'm going to bring it up on a larger one here. Take that camera off the screen. So we got Bellefonte 851, Roland 902, Fort Smith 913. So we got a lot of stuff. Yes, if you are watching in Northwest Arkansas, such as Pea Ridge, Kylie, you're good. You just got rain, and that's it. Jared, St. Paul, nothing. Just a few rumbles of thunder. That's it. Can we stream on 479 first? Yes, we do have to add that. Stand by here.
All right, so there we go. There's a live look at radar right now, as Dan was just showing you. Try to look at some comments right now. And
hey, could anybody add our live
people are
stream
asking
on
about
479
If you're in
first?
Northwest Arkansas,
Please.
you are fine. This is going to be more so of a River Valley threat heading over towards Sequoia, southern Adair County. It's about to get a little loud, as well as over in the River Valley in general. So there you see those transitions. In fact, I'll show you Mega Doppler really quickly, just so you can get a good look at where these storms are at. So,
look at that base fall apart. Real quick before you do that, look at this thing. Done. No longer even a tornado threat. Done.
Whatever. That is, it tried and
that
failed.
fell apart big time. Yeah.
Failed miserably.
Could redevelop. Could cycle. We'll see.
Certainly keeping an eye on it. But Washington County, I'll zoom out, give you guys the big picture. Northwest Arkansas, you guys are fine. There is maybe some pea-sized hail that's coming into far western Washington County, Westville, but that's not going to be severe at this time. These are the storms that we're watching. These are the two cells that we're watching. Really a cluster, if you must, at this point. This is moving into southern Adair County as well as Sequoia. This will be moving into you guys here in just a little bit, actually. So Greasy, Maple City, Sallisaw, maybe getting loud here in the next 15 to 30 minutes. That will eventually go towards Natural Dam. And you can see that warning goes all the way out to Fort Smith. So that's the general direction of these storms. They're moving southeast. So if you're anywhere in the line of these storms, then you'll have to continue to just keep an eye on the radar, keep an eye on the skies. North of this, though, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're absolutely fine.
We're getting a lot of comments about Northwest Arkansas, and rightfully so. You're watching, you're hearing rumbles of thunder. Let me tell you something. These are weak sauce, all right? These are just, it's rain, a few rumbles of thunder, not even close to severe, but lightning is dangerous. Remember, lightning can be dangerous anywhere. So if you're watching, and I'll not repeat this every 5 minutes, but basically you can just tell people on the stream, anywhere in Northwest Arkansas, severe weather potential is not going to verify. So you don't have to worry about that. It's done. The cluster of storms is going southwest of northwest Arkansas. It's moving into the river valley. Yes, we'll see rain. Yes, we'll have occasional rumbles of thunder. Not even small hail with this, honestly, except maybe that small cell by Lincoln, and that's about it. The strongest cells, as you can clearly see, are moving into eastern Oklahoma. And check out this, man. That is just a gorgeous view.
It is. It really is. Got some light precipitation heading over towards Poto as well in LaFleur County, but that's not severe at this point as well. Doesn't even have lightning yet. But we're keeping an eye on this cell because it does have some mid-level rotation. But still, the main thing is definitely the hail size starting to increase once again. That tells me that the storm is still strengthening. Still has that environment, as we said, where large hail is potential. Oh, look at those lightning strikes, man. That is cool. That is
Okay,
gorgeous.
cool. So we're in? Okay, I think we're streaming on 479 first. Let me know if we've got it on 479 first. So just got a stunning rainbow in northwest Arkansas. I know. I saw that.
I believe it.
Clarksville, I think, is going to be a little west of this storm. So, what I mean is the storm's going to be west of Clarksville. Clarksville will be east of the storm. Storm is going to miss Clarksville to the west. Lightning show is on point. I know there is some lightning. And this is exactly why we did not want the Razorbacks to play at 6.
Exactly.
I want to get a little credit here from the meteorologists, a little bit, instead of saying we're wrong all the time, which we can't be wrong.
Right.
I'll admit that.
It happens.
We're wrong, and it happens. But we weren't wrong on this one.
Nope. Very great call. Because what was first pitch would have been 7 o'clock?
Yeah, first pitch was 6.
Yeah, that game wouldn't have been over.
So this game wouldn't be even close to over. Well, granted, they
If it
did
was-
run. They did run rule.
Yeah, and if it was, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That
So check this out. We're gonna do something different here.
that is
Davion, I don't think you've ever seen this, but look at this capability. We're gonna show Megadoppler
New tornado warning.
side of this storm, so you can show everything about what's going on. But it's on the. You got to go on the western edge of the deal, so we can watch this storm from Kisser FM, which is just a little south of Cedarville, north of Fort Smith and Van Buren, and there's that severe thunderstorm warning.
Yep. So
And it moves so quick now with the
That's
new
good.
radar. You gotta be careful. So tornado activity. I mean, you can see the storm is elevated.
Right.
How do you know that? Because you're looking at the base of the thunderstorm, and it just absolutely completely fell apart. Good. Thank you, Chandra. Yes. Thank you for reminding us too. I wish it was automated. I wish I could click a button and it would go, but you got to run through a few steps, and sometimes I forget those steps. So we gotta write them down. Who said tornado warning again? Oh,
nope.
no, and it's not going to
Just-
say tornado warning. I don't know who's saying tornado warning.
Yeah, I don't see where that's coming.
You have to tell me that.
But Fluke Springs, Marble City, certainly picking up on.
What are you talking about? Your
Quarter
tornado
halftime
warning
stuff.
thingy keeps yelling at me. What tornado thingy? Not sure.
Man, this thing has
Who did?
a lot of lightning.
Oh, maybe we have a problem in the background.
The automated boost.
Oh, brother. Maybe someone's pushing something.
Oh, no, that's why, because it has a tornado possible tag.
That's a
on it.
tornado possible tag.
That's why it just came through slide. And that's Adair, Cherokee, Sequoia. Yep, that's the cell.
Doesn't look tornado possible to me.
No, it don't.
Now, granted, we're some of the stuff is behind the pole and we can't really see it.
No.
Alrighty, hold on. Oh, great. There's a bug. So that's what happened. All right. There's a bug on what happened. So yes, sorry. Something happened with the programming. That is a big fail. That is not something I need right now. Nope. That is a fail. Yes. Okay. We're working on that. It's not a tornado warning, and it's not. Yeah, something's going on with that severe weather bug. Okay, you got it. I get it. Stop commenting. It's over. There's not a tornado warning, at least as of now. There's a tornado possible with this severe thunderstorm warning, but there's a bug with the system. So just please, everybody breathe. Everybody kind of breathe in and out. Of course, that had to happen, right?
Right. On a night like tonight.
So we can see the storm right here. Everything is completely elevated, at least as of this point. It's definitely got a heavy core. There's no doubt about that. A lot of lightning, too. We'll go back to it.
Very electrified storm. Flute Springs, Marble City.
There's going to be some gusty winds behind this wake low.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Still have $1.25 dollar size hail. Let's look at that hail core extending from Bunch all the way down to Pinhook Corner, essentially, with the largest hailstorms right now. Flute Springs, Marble City, and everywhere in between. Definitely getting in on some hail core. Maybe a little small area of 2-inch in diameter hail. Let's see if I can plot some of these smaller rows. Maybe not. Here's one. The Kansas City Southern.
All right, so there is a wake low that's happening. That's something that's going on. Wake lows, by the way. All right, let me show you what's going on here. So you're showing the hail core while we're looking at the storm here, and you can see that hail core off in the distance. Boy, what a view of this storm!
This is about.
Let's just kind of take this in.
Yeah,
Man. This is amazing, and it's dangerous. It's a dangerous storm, western Sequoia County. You're seeing the exact areas, but look at this lightning show.
Oh, yeah, that hail's starting to increase once again. Reflectivity is starting to max out.
I'm not saying stop commenting, period, dude. And Darby would be like, everybody breathe. It's not a tornado warning. We did have a bug that was happening with our system. I'm not saying stop commenting, period. I'm just saying you don't have to worry about a tornado, so you don't have to keep commenting that it was a tornado warning. But there was an unfortunate time for a bug to happen. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go off of our different severe weather mode, and I apologize that happened, and that is something out of our control. So anyways, we're looking at this storm, and we're watching what's going on.
Yeah, and see the reflectivity starting to max out over towards Marble City. That tells me that storm is about to start producing some larger hail.
Yeah, yeah, you can see the hail core. There is no doubt about that.
Yeah, there it is. So this is one scan ago.
What's going on with this storm?
There it is now. So, oh my goodness, that's 3 inches. That's even larger.
Yeah.
Near baseball size hail, if not larger. Hen egg and larger. So this is some very large hail that's about to move in.
This is why it's important to have multiple alerts, by the way.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry about that. That is unfortunate.
Horrible timing.
Yeah, it's the worst timing.
Horrible timing.
Worst timing possible. Yeah, I wasn't saying stop commenting. I was just saying you don't have to comment about a tornado. I understand that it went out, and I thank you for letting me know about that. But we don't need to keep commenting about that situation. This is elevated. This is an elevated storm, folks. Now, elevated does mean that while there's no tornado potential, or it's very, very limited, and there's no warning on a tornado warning, but there is some really large hail. And not only that, it's going to be wind-driven hail, as you can see from this WeatherBug Network cam. This is quite a sight. I got to do a cut in here.
Yeah.
Especially on Fox. Now, I know we got baseball.
I'm telling National Weather Service now, radar indicated.
Yeah, pretty large, up to over 2 inches. I know we've got Fox Live Sports, right?
So
but is there any way we can figure out when a
not to
national
enter
break
into
is, and I can just cut in
severe
real quick?
weather operations, doing a live weather cut in on TV, so it'll feel like wall-to-wall coverage for the time being as this cell continues to increase. And I'll show you guys the newest hail core. So I'm gonna bring up Megan Doppler real quick. I know we have a beautiful view of this.
No, I do not.
There's Megan
not
Doppler.
on all of them, just on Fox for now.
So radar indicated 2 inches plus in diameter hail near Marble City. and that continues to get larger.
Yeah, I just got to do a cut in here, Casey, on TV. Oh man, did you load up your show? I have to change that.
No,
Sorry,
you're good.
or I could not. I don't have to change it. I'll just build my thing at the beginning here. Data set.
Do you want me to have an IFB or no?
You're gonna have to wait just a little bit, Casey. I've got to do this cut in, and we got to figure out when to do it on Fox. And as soon as I'm done, then you can start recording. Okay? Is he even in here? Oh,
No.
he's not in here. I thought he was in here.
I'll go let him know.
Yeah, I think he knows, but
Oh, yeah. He knows.
okay.
Man, what a
That
lightning
is
strike.
that
My
is an
goodness.
awesome. I've got that puppy recording too. That is just quite a sight.
It is not. It doesn't get better than that in terms of viewing.
Yeah. Getting closer to night, but that's what we got right there. You're going to do Mega Doppler,
Yes, sir.
and then I'm going to do this on a wide view, and then we're going to zoom in. So stand by. What we're doing is we're about to do a television cut in. You'll see that as well on the live stream. But we want to let people know about this storm because it is pretty stout. It's the only storm that's going to be impacting our weather coverage area. Of course, there has to be one storm, but there is, and it's moving into brushy. It's got outflow. You can see the outflow that's associated with it. So the tornado possible tag is not going to last very long, in my opinion. Storm is moving southeast at 35 miles per hour, and you have wind-driven ping-pong size hail. So I'm going to do the most dangerous portion of the storm, which is the outflow. We're going to track it to the southeast. I'm going to zoom out here a little bit, and then I'm going to go back into this, and we'll extend that out. Huh? Oh, we are? We're in halftime? Okay, I'll be able to go here in 2 seconds. Okay. Do a PCR, by the way, on this, okay?
Yep. I got you.
Not the other one, just the regular one.
PCR
This
full.
one, PCR full. Yep.
All right.
You have to wait until they do the countdown.
Okay.
Because if you go too quick, it'll just be in black.
Okay.
On the live stream. You ready?
Look at that base, man.
Max 2. Max 2.
Man, this is an electrified storm.
Yeah, it is. I'm turning on my mic. Okay. Can you hear me? Check, check, check. I know you got the other mic too. It's a super electrified storm. While we're doing it, go to Max 1 and do a quick radar update while we're waiting. People are probably wondering what's going on with this. Did they? Can I just cut in real quick? Have they started playing yet? Have they started playing? No, bring up the radar. Like, talk about Mega Doppler.
Yeah. It's loading. You were on. There it is.
Okay.
So here's a live look at Mega Doppler right now. This is the storm that we're talking about, and it's still putting down.
We could just go on.
So this will be
Let's
right
just
over
go on.
Stony Point, Brushy.
They haven't even
Atkins,
started yet.
Just north of Salisaw, moving over towards Bellefonte and Long, and this is all in Sequoia County, and you can see.
Oh. Hi, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff. I know you're watching the soccer match. It's just after the start of the second half, and I want to show you this storm that's moving into eastern Sequoia County. This is just to the west of Fort Smith. This is a dangerous storm with the potential for up to golf ball size hail, ping pong size hail, wind driven. So that could do some damage. This is our WeatherBug network camera from Kisser FM in Dripping Springs, and you can see the lightning show. This storm is going to be impacting only the river valley. Northwest Arkansas, yes, is seeing some rain as well, but this storm is dangerous as it moves to the southeast at about 35 miles per hour. We'll zoom in, and we're talking some really large hail now with this storm as we were looking right into that hail core. In fact, you'll see a little bit of a circulation, but we're talking close to potentially over 2 inches in diameter of hail. Now, Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler is showing possibly up to 4. That's not out of the question, but probably a little overdone. But nevertheless, it's definitely larger than golf balls at this point as this storm continues to drop southeast. So we'll zoom way in and we'll show you Aikens as well as Long is going to be impacted. This hail core is just to the south of Brushy. And we wanted to let you know about this on television because we are live streaming, but you might not be aware that this storm is going to be impacting you. And this is a dangerous storm that has not only the potential for very large destructive hail, and you can see that 4 inches is softball size. So it gives you an idea, kind of like April 28th when we had those storms that came through Elm Springs, and you saw what softball size hail and the damage, what it can do. Let's zoom out here a little bit more, and we'll take a look at this reflectivity. And you'll see this core is definitely very intense. Now, there is what we call a tornado vortex signature. This does have a tornado possible tag with it. I'm not seeing that looking at our WeatherBug network camera. Let's look at the circulation on this real quick, and you'll notice it does have a little bit of rotation, but it's mostly just some gusty winds and wind-driven hail. Now, Northwest Arkansas, everything is quiet right now at the moment at 8:37. Wanted to give you this quick update, though, on this cell that is in the River Valley. Again, there's the tornado possible tag. Now it's considerable for this severe thunderstorm warning. So that just literally got upgraded right now. And you'll notice that 60 miles per hour winds as well as 2-inch wind-driven hail along with a tornado possible tag. And there you can see that outflow. That's why I think the tornado activity is definitely lowering on this cell, but still a dangerous storm. One quick track on this, we'll bring it into Muldrow at 8:49, Roland at 8:52, Rena Elementary School at 8:58, and Fort Smith coming in just before 9 o'clock. So we're tracking this storm. We've got it on our live stream. That's on 479 First. We're also doing that on Facebook as well as YouTube and X, and also Fox24News.tv. Just click on the weather tab and go to live stream. We'll keep you updated. So keep it here with your weather authority for the latest severe weather information. All right. Well, there's a quick update on that. So there's the update on this storm that's moving in. Now, here's what I want to do.
This is some strong reflectivity.
This is real strong reflectivity. This is just a giant hail core. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to do a 4D on this just to see if this storm is really, truly developing that large a hail. My goodness.
Also, I don't think that.
Oh, wait. Whoa. Hold on. I just saw, hold on just a second.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think it's true either. No. No, that's not true. Yep, that's not a true CC drop. Nope. That looks like it's getting kicked up. Let's see if it's correlated with the velocity. Nope, not true. So that is not what we call PTDS. That's not a tornado detected. That's not true. So that is what we call a false trip right there. Now, we got a problem. We're in the middle of recording a newscast. So I am not able to. On the screen, Dan and the entire weather authority team will keep you updated with all the latest. We apologize in the meantime. Now, tonight, we'll get through for continuing to make sure thousands of gallons of toxic chemicals don't run. So we're in the middle of a newscast. I can't talk anymore. So I'm just going to go back to Mega Doppler. We'll take a look at that. Here's what we got. Holy smokes. I think we need to be on the air. Yeah, I think so too. All right, here's the deal, man. I think we need to be on the air on this. I think we're going to have to kill your recording, man. We're looking at softballs that are going to be coming down. It's some big time stuff. Maybe during the first break, we could do the first break. But I think we're going to have to do a live. We're going to have to do a live newscast. That is just a massive hail core.
Yeah, I've never seen radar maxed out like this.
This is just massive. Did you zoom in on this or no? Oh no, I zoomed in on it. Yeah. Okay, guys, so we're in the middle of a package right now, but we're recording a newscast on Fox because of sports, and sports always interferes on Friday with severe weather coverage, it seems like. But that's just the nature of doing broadcasting. But this is a very nasty, nasty hail core, and this has the potential to produce, I think, way bigger than 2 inches. This is way bigger than baseballs, too. I think that's well underdone, but this is massive. Long, Remy, Roland Muldrow. Remy, you are in the path of this storm. And unfortunately, this is coming towards Fort Smith. This is making a beeline for Fort Smith. We're about to see some big time hail in Fort Smith. What is everybody's chat saying? It's way bigger than 2 inches. Oh, my goodness. The weather is just nuts. It's so frustrating. Let's see what this shows. Sometimes this can be overestimated, but that looks massive. Look at this. Look at the hail clearing on this.
Still large.
Oh, this is real large. That's 2.8. And this is usually underdone, to be honest with you. This is baseball size wind driven hail that's in eastern Sequoia County. Yeah, after this commercial break, Casey, we're going to have to go on. This is going right towards Fort Smith. This is going to be a problem. This is going to be a big problem. Okay, I will. Oh, you did? So I'm in the middle of the live stream, so my mic is hot. But we have baseball hail coming towards Fort Smith. And this storm is huge. And we got to be on the air. We can't be not on the air. So I know you're recording. You'll have to finish up the A block, and then we're just going to have to go. Yeah. I gotta need to go on now. But we can finish the. Just finish the. How much more is it? Okay.
Continue the tornado possible. Continue to.
You know, we all see the road and housing construction going on to help account for the growth here in Northwest Arkansas. And today, the these little water districts broke ground on new treatment facilities designed to keep up with the dozens of more spigots that may be turned on every 2 days. This Fox 24 show.
Yeah, we gotta go. That's just it's way too dangerous. Yeah.
I just said it from the new box.
There's
the extension.
If you guys are just tuning into the stream, we've got an issue because we're using the studio to record a newscast. Newscasts have to be done, and when there's sports that's going on, you can't do it at the same time as KNWA because you got KNWA and Fox both in the same studio, and that just doesn't happen. And now they issued the severe thunderstorm warning for Fort Smith. So we are waiting. We're about to go on, and we're going to be doing severe weather coverage on Fox 24, KNWA, and KXNW for this storm, which is significant.
We had all Mamadas.
All right. Did you guys stop?
Yeah.
Okay. We got to go. I'm going to go on. And they also have the considerable severe thunderstorm warning for Fort Smith. Bring it to, send it to, careful because we're live streaming. Send it to a megaphone. Megaphone's the best way to do it. Then that way we can bring it up. I'm going to control max 2. You got max 1, okay?
All right, gotcha.
All right. Yeah, spin the camera around in the weather lab. And then we'll go on.
40 seconds.
My goodness. 3.64. Just massive. Sorry, Casey.
That's all good.
I knew.
I know this obviously, like, without a doubt.
Yeah. It's one storm. It's super dangerous too. All right. I'm ready. Yep. Okay, stand by. Hi, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff, Meteorologist Davion Huggins. We've been live streaming for the last half hour, 45 minutes, but this storm deserves television coverage. This is a destructive storm potentially. Right now it's considerable, but we're talking about massive hail over teacup size, potentially. The reflectivity has been really high with this storm. And also, not only that, but it's moving towards Fort Smith, and it's going to be hitting Fort Smith shortly. So we're talking destructive hail potentially, which could damage vehicles, damage roofs, damage homes and buildings and windows. And this is a dangerous storm.
It's wind-driven.
Yeah,
too.
Wind-driven hail on top of that. Let's take a look here. First of all, let's go to max 2 if we can. We'll take a look at the latest severe thunderstorm warnings. Now, they do have a tornado possible tag on this storm, but I can tell you that we have our WeatherBug network camera from the area of Dripping Springs, which is just to the west, and that is not necessarily an issue in terms of what we're seeing visually. But this is the severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 9:15 as 60 miles per hour winds. I know you're trying to watch your sporting events, and I get it. It's a Friday night, and we got to let you know about this. Now, if you're watching in Northwest Arkansas, you're probably not so happy because it's a few rumbles of thunder, it's lightning. But for our folks down to the south that receive the same exact signal on television, this is a dangerous storm. So we've got 2-inch hail. That's actually, I think, a little underdone personally, and 60 miles per hour winds. Here's the really large hail core. We'll zoom in on this and we'll track this as well. Bellefonte, just to the south of Bellefonte, right on Highway 64B. Look at that reflectivity. We're talking some serious high reflectivity, meaning the radar is detecting some large hydrometeors that are suspended in this storm. Now, we also have Mega Doppler too, and I want to bring that up. And here's a look at the hail core. And Davion, you're going to move over that 3 and see it's over 3 inches, which is teacup size. Now, to put that into perspective, that is about the size of what Elm Springs saw. And you might remember April 28th, just a few days ago. So there's that severe thunderstorm warning. This is not going to be impacting Northwest Arkansas. We are going to put a track on this. It looks like maybe this hail core might be redeveloping again. And let's take a look at the lightning show. It's pretty tremendous. This is from our Kisser FM WeatherBug network camera. And one thing you'll notice is we're not really seeing any type of lowering associated with it. You can see some ragged clouds kind of off in the distance, but this is the cloud base. This is the hail core that you're seeing looking off to the west. Not only that, this is the leading edge of the storm. It's what we call outflow. It's a shelf cloud. So this is a shelf cloud associated with this highly electrified storm. Again, we're breaking it on television because we have to let you know about this storm. that's moving into the Roland and Muldrow area. And I also want to loop this as well on Mega Doppler, Davion, on Max 1. And let's go ahead and we'll show you how this is making a beeline right for Fort Smith and Van Buren. And keep in mind, there's a lot of people traveling too. You've got people that are traveling from college back to home, from out of state, people that are not in college in Northwest Arkansas or the River Valley, but they're coming back home because finals are over for a lot of colleges. There's going to be a lot of people traveling. The traffic was crazy in Northwest Arkansas.
There's people traveling
and in the River Valley
as well. There's been a lot of people moving, like you said. There's already been some graduation ceremonies as well too. So this is just an unfortunate event. It's also Mother's Day weekend kicking off. So this is there. We know there's a lot of people on the roads, and this is very dangerous.
Very large hail, strong winds, 60 miles per hour. You take baseballs and essentially throw them at nearly 70, 80 miles per hour. That's going to do some damage. So that's the considerable severe thunderstorm one. We're talking 60 to 65 miles per hour winds on this storm. And again, let's do a split screen if we can. We'll show that WeatherBug Network camera. I'm going to move it over just a little bit to the left. We'll see if we can see any type of structure associated with this storm. It's just now about to move into the River Valley, into the Fort Smith, Van Buren area. You can actually see this storm moving on the screen. You'll see the camera here pan over in just a bit. But there is a look at that Kisser FM WeatherBug Network camera. Camera's going to shift over here shortly. A tremendous lightning show, no doubt about that, with this cell. So where is this storm headed and where is it moving to? Let's go ahead and we'll do a storm track on this. And Davion, you're looking at the latest rotation. I don't necessarily see that's as much of an issue.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. They still have the tornado possible tag, but I don't think we're going to be worried about a rotation right now. It's really not ramping up. And there you see it you have a visual of the storm, and there's not much rotation going on with this that we can see. But again, electrified storm. We've been seeing lightning strikes before the sun was down on this storm. And as we're talking about it, there you see, and large hail moving honestly directly towards the Van Buren, Fort Smith area.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and we'll take a look here. Northwest Arkansas, I got some rumbles of thunder. The rain is already moving out of Springdale, so that's not a problem. We're not focused on that. And we were doing a live stream, but it's a good thing the Razorback game isn't going on. That's for sure. There's a lot of lightning, and thankfully they got that Razorback game in before. But there's a severe thunderstorm warning. This is a 2-inch hail. I think it might be a little underdone, in my opinion. 60 miles per hour winds, considerable severe thunderstorm warning. We include Alma, Fort Smith, Greenwood, and Van Buren. There also is another severe thunderstorm warning to the west of that. That was issued previously, and that goes until 9:15. The storm's moving at about 40 miles per hour to the southeast. You can actually see the motion, too, with that WeatherBug Network camera. And then western and northwestern Leflore County, as well as southwestern Sequoia County, goes until 9:30 with a severe thunderstorm warning, not considerable. Now, Davion, this hail core, we were looking at this not too long ago, April 28th, and I got to show you this because this is just massive hail, folks.
Yeah, this is the latest scan that you can have, and it's not done. There you see right now, all of that is still suspended, and it looks like this storm is continuing to produce over 2-inch in diameter, dare I say 3-inch in diameter.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a problem.
Now, if you have some reports, we would love to see that. If you got pictures and you can do that safely, please send them our way. You can do that by scanning that QR code right there. That'll take you to our Weather Authority app. And then all you have to do is scroll all the way down and you can get instantly submit your weather photos and we can show them on the air. And Connor, be looking for that too as we give you that information, and we continue to get your photos and videos in real time, and then we can display that. So again, Fort Smith, this is going to be impacting you here shortly. I do want to do a track on that again. I showed you the latest warnings. Let's go ahead and we'll take a track of this storm that I think is moving a little bit quicker. And again, we're doing television coverage because this is a dangerous storm that can impact a lot of people. Yes, there's a tornado possible tag. I think the tornado threat is not as great, but we're talking some destructive hail. And we saw the type of damage that can do. And if people aren't watching the live stream, they may not know about this storm that's coming in. So 40 miles per hour, it sped up a little bit. We'll take that track and we'll put it right southeast. So Fort Smith, it's literally knocking on your doorstep right now. 9:04 in about 10 minutes. We're going to get to see the size of this hail. We got some other WeatherBug Network cameras too. They're reporting already golf balls.
Yeah, so
That was in Shakota, though.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
not-
earlier.
yeah,
that's
that's
not
earlier.
even the same storm.
I was just going to
yeah.
make I was going to
Oh
make the
my
point.
goodness.
That,
Now look at the hail core.
yeah, I was going to make the point. We're getting closer to the radar too,
and it still shows
and
this
it still
size.
shows this.
That
so
is
that's
impressive.
Yeah. So that's concerning. That's very concerning because if you don't know, the Fort Smith radar is quite literally not far from this at all.
You might want to say in NWS chat, say, is 2 inches a little underdone? Some of the hail sizes I'm seeing are massive. It seems like 2 inches a little underdone. This might be upgraded to a destructive severe thunderstorm warning, which is a good possibility. So again, you're looking at the Kisser FM camera that's on the top right. You're seeing the left side, which is the storm track. That gives you the latest information on the most dangerous portion of the storm. This is moving towards Central City at 9:19, Lavaca at 9:24, Bloomer at 9:28, and just after 9:30 in Burnville. We'll make that full screen so you can see.
Yep.
And this is the severe thunderstorm warning, goes until 9:15, but if we shift it over just a little bit, you'll see a new severe thunderstorm warning that gets highlighted.
Check this out, Dan. They're also saying that the winds in Fort Smith, they're going to upgrade them to 65 or 60.
Click on that right there. We got to
Yep.
DA list that velocity. No, wrong one. Click on the other one.
Yep, there it is.
And click off the Sigma.
Yep.
There you go. It looks a little bit better now.
Yeah.
So sometimes we just got a new computer. There's a lot of settings that have to go into it. We have to DA list the velocity. I want to go back to that and you'll see.
So this is
kind of see the difference.
So this is greater than 60 mile per hour winds that they're saying now.
Yeah.
That's about to move into the Fort Smith region. So
Yeah,
again,
it
this is wind driven hail, and we're close to the radar scans, and you're still getting reflectivity almost maxing out. So that tells me that this is really large hail that is about to be smashing into, unfortunately.
You can actually see the hail core. I mean, you're going to be able to see this. I'm going to bring this up on Weather 3. It's going to be on Max 2. So we're just going to bring this up full. This is a live view of that hail core. You can see the city lights off in the distance. Notice how opaque that is. That tells you some really large hail. I'm going to step in front of the wall too and show you exactly what we're looking at. And that's a tremendous amount of lightning. So these are the lights of Fort Smith and Van Buren. This is from our Kisser FM WeatherBug Network camera. You can see that giant hail core, totally opaque, lightning within it. No tornado potential because on the leading edge, this is just a shelf cloud. But as this storm is starting to swallow up Fort Smith and Van Buren, be ready for very large hail to be coming down. Jacob Kottner is one of our photographers that is located in the Fort Smith Van Buren area. And so if we can get a hold of him, maybe he can get his camera ready if he's available, and he can get some of the video of this. Look at how elevated this storm is too. That base is way up there. That's a really high elevated base. You can see the crisp anvil off in the distance. So this just tells you a very intense thunderstorm. And again, the reason we're on the air, I know it's not affecting Northwest Arkansas, and I wish we could split the coverage where Northwest Arkansas doesn't get the coverage because they're not experiencing as much. But maybe you have friends or family that live in the River Valley, and for the River Valley, definitely want to let you know about this storm. Look at how the lights are starting to disappear. So this is looking kind of south-southwest. And let's go ahead and we'll go to Mega Doppler on Max 1.
Yeah,
and we'll take a look at this.
I was just going to say, National Weather Service out of Tulsa, they noted that some of the algorithms in GR kind of sometimes try to
are a little overdone. Yeah, I would agree with that. But also, again, too, got that northwest flow.
Yep.
We've already seen 2 to 3 inch hail that has been happening in northeast Oklahoma. I get that can be underdone, but at the same time, I know northwest flow brings cold temperatures aloft too,
which enhances hailstorm size. So this is certainly a concerning look to the cell that's about to move into Fort Smith. And I'm starting to notice the latest scan, some of that is reflectivity is coming down a little bit. We're also getting closer to the radar, but these hailstorms, they won't be able to be suspended in the air for long. Once they get heavy enough, they'll start to fall to the ground. And that's where the problems are going to start to.
2 inches, though, is still enough to damage vehicles. In fact, let's go ahead and we'll take a look. We've been looking at that camera for a while. I want to kind of give you an idea of what hail we're kind of dealing with. So let's go to Max 2. And there you go. Golf balls, rare. Hen egg is rare. We already have 2 inches potentially. We've already seen golf ball. That was actually from a different storm.
Yep.
But if we get up to baseball size, which I don't think maybe this storm is producing anymore. But then again, let's look at the 4D on this as it's moving in, and you'll see how the radar beam is slicing the storm. So the reason we're on the air, there's still an extremely elevated core,
Yeah,
and that's still a lot of hail.
That is a lot.
So if we, that's a lot of reflectivity. So what we're looking at here is what we call Mega Doppler 4D. Now you can use the left arrow to kind of go back in time, and we can see if this hail core, you can see the storm is beginning to move into the volume scan. That shows you up to 30,000 feet. You still have very high reflectivity. And if we move along, and is that the latest image?
Yep, this is the latest image.
So we might see this start to drop, which tells us that hail core is coming down. Let's go back to our WeatherBug network camera from Kisser FM, and we'll probably see those city lights begin to totally disappear. We'll move that camera over just a little bit again, and I'll follow that here real quick.
Yeah, I was just going to say they're noting hailstones closer to 2 inches has been a better estimate so far. They're saying, but nonetheless, 2 inches wind-driven hail, that's still going to cause
it's still hen egg.
issues.
That still makes a considerable severe thunderstorm warning, a dangerous storm, and that's why we had to let you know about it. Too many people traveling. And by the way, Connor, if you're in the control room, we can bring up some iDrive Arkansas cameras because we got one that's really close at the state line. So we can bring that up. Just bring that up whenever on Prod PC. You can see the amount of lightning. Look at the people that are hitting the hazards. We're talking about multiple impacts. Maybe not the tornado, but still, this is a highly impactful storm that could be life-threatening if you don't take it seriously. So that's why we're on television. That's why we're covering up on your sporting events. I apologize. I know there's probably people angry, want to throw something at the screen, but for the people that are in the path of this storm, they're probably very thankful that we're on. So Fort Smith right now is getting the brunt of this storm. All right, let's go ahead and we'll bring that up. So now you're seeing the winds starting to pick up as well.
And they increased that on the warning too. So 60+ mile-per-hour winds moving in with this cell.
Yeah. So it's an intense storm, and it's a considerable storm. And not only is it considerable, but it's Friday night. There are people outside. There are people enjoying graduation. And here we go with a really big thunderstorm that has the potential to produce wind-driven hail. So we'll start seeing some reports from emergency managers in the River Valley. And is Jacob on call? I don't know if you guys have called him in the control room at all. Okay, gotcha. All right, so there was a one inch hail report in Roland. That was a while ago, and now that core has kind of moved right over. So
this is moving into the Fort Smith area, very populated area. Of course, Van Buren as well, and you can see that on Mega Doppler, the highest velocity scans that we were seeing a few moments ago. You can see where they were maxing out, showing you the blacks and whites. That is where, of course, it's heavy, but we're also very close to the radar. So that's telling me that maybe some of those hailstones are still kind of suspended if they haven't started to fall yet. But again, this will be falling very soon, and that'll be wind-driven hail. The strong winds, a lot of people traveling for Mother's Day weekend. It's graduation weekend as well. People are moving out. Courses are done. So this is a lot of impacts that will be happening.
Check out this visibility. Remember we were showing you the Kisser FM camera? Now you're in the clouds.
Can't see it.
And by the way, we have an orientation aid too to let you know which way we're looking. This is looking straight south, as you can see, and this is looking right at the city of Fort Smith and Van Buren. So wouldn't doubt if this camera gets struck by lightning, knowing our luck.
Yep.
It's been that way lately. But, that is a dangerous storm for sure. I'm going to bring that. Let me get that.
And if you're confused, because obviously the warning extends out further than the storm. So down the line, Van Buren, you guys are about to see this in the next few minutes or so. But Kibler, Alma, Lavaca, Barling, you guys are next in line for some of this stronger cells. It may pass just to the north of Barling. We'll have to see how this continues to progress as it moves past the radar. There you get the latest scan as I'm talking. So Van Buren, this is pretty much starting to happen now. Kibler, Dyer. So again, a very dangerous storm. If you're traveling along US Highway 64 that runs through Van Buren down towards Fort Smith, definitely want to make sure you're taking it easy and using precautions and just maybe taking cover for the time being until this storm passes.
Yeah, you can see the wind. Bring up our public library Fort Smith camera. Look at those winds.
Look at that.
Yeah.
The rain curtains.
Horizontal rain curtains. That shows you some really strong winds. And we're talking winds strong enough to do some damage, probably cause some sporadic power outages. We'll be watching for power flashes off in the distance. Again, this is a River Valley event, so that's going to be focused in the River Valley, mainly Sebastian County, Crawford County, Crawford County is still getting some of the storm, but the Sebastian County is getting the bulk of this storm as it's moving in. And you can see people that are stopped too. This is a green light. They're probably just moving along, but it's really torrential rains. It's a big time storm, no doubt about that. But again, tornado potential. It had tornado possible. Just didn't see that. Storm was kind of getting undercut. The outflow is spreading out underneath the storm. That just prevents it from rotating. And in fact, if we go to Mega Doppler on Max 1, we can bring that up, and you can see Davion's looking at that.
This was the progression of it.
Yeah,
you can see. Yeah, that's undercut.
Some gusty winds though that are popping up, and so like we mentioned, that reflectivity was really high though earlier. And so if you have a report, you can also join the live stream as well. We've been hearing reports about at the riverfront where we have that Miss Laura's camera that has gone down, unfortunately. But they're talking about really strong winds, really bad winds, and as well as some large hail that's coming down. All right, let's bring up the Prod PC. Yeah, there you go. That gives you an idea. Look at all of the lightning.
See the hailstones. That one that doesn't have a banner, that looks like hailstones.
The one on the far right, yeah, that one does have hail that's coming in, and it's wind-driven hail.
Wind-driven. Look at the people slowing down on the interstate. So this is what we're talking about. There's a danger storm going on right now. And the newest update, they're going to continue the severe thunderstorm watch for Adair, Crawford, Franklin County. So they're extending it into Arkansas now. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now that the storm is here, of course.
And it's way before 10 o'clock, too. That watch expired out west in Delaware and Adair County. And, we're way beyond that at this point. Yep. So, in fact, you can go back to our graphics here. We'll go to Mega Doppler, and you'll see at 9:07 here. If you're watching the live stream, sometimes there's a delay. So heads up on that, especially 479 first. Might be about a minute delay. So 9:08 right now is the exact time.
Yep.
And so you'll be able to know your delay. But keep in mind, Lavaca, Barling, you're about to be impacted. I can just see people stopped on the road. I know they're stopped at lights too, but the lightning is tremendous.
Yep, starting to get some quarter size hail reports coming in from Van Buren. That makes sense. That's right.
That was on the northern end of the core.
Yep. That's the north side. That's not the worst of the storm, but still very dangerous portion. Got another hail size report of a 1/4 inch near 2 miles southwest of Van Buren. So that's closer to the main portion of the storm. But again, if you're traveling along US Highway 64 or I-40, this is a very dangerous storm that you'll be driving into if you're coming from the Alma area over towards Fort Smith and Van Buren.
So we got some reports. Chris saying very bad wind, hail by the riverfront in Fort Smith. Lights are flickering.
Also got reports of power flashes north side of Fort Smith. Yep.
Fort Smith. Downtown. Hail in Fort Smith. Hailing hard in Van Buren. Wind is insane in Van Buren.
Yeah.
The lightning is insane. So Transformers just blew in Van Buren and on Alma Boulevard in Van Buren. That just happened.
Yep.
And like we said, nothing in Northwest Arkansas. But this is right smack dab over Fort Smith.
Yeah, so this is...
Let's do a track on it. Let people know where that's headed. So give me just a sec, and I'll put a track on this on Max 2.
While you're doing that, yeah. I would show the hail core, but we're right over the radar, so it's not really going to pick up anything. As that hail that you saw when we were showing you the 4D velocity scan, it was suspended up as the winds were still able to support it, but now that it started to fall to the ground. So now you're not really getting notable hail core on reflectivity. That doesn't mean it's not hailing. That just means everything is on its way to the ground. And as this storm continues to move off to the southeast, we'll see if it builds up another one. Hopefully it doesn't, but the environment is there. I'll just say that. But we're starting to get a lot of reports of, again, power outages, powers flickering. A lot of those were from our National Weather Service and our emergency management responses, and a lot more from our live weather chat as we're live on stream as well. And Fort Smith obviously just took a pretty nasty hit from the storm. Still seeing that in Van Buren as well. So next in line, the Kibler area, Lavaca, over towards Alma. You guys are going to start to see this downstream. And Dan, I'll let you do that track.
Yeah. Lavaca coming in at 9:20, Greenwood 9:25, Big Rock, as you just mentioned, just a little before 9:30. And by the way, too, we do have another camera, which is up right now. This is the Mount Magazine camera. We could probably see the lightning off of the distance from this storm. And yeah, you could just see the amount of energy that's coming in. So we'll look northwest. That's exactly where that's looking. Let me bring that up and you'll see that. So you got an idea of the track. There's the track of the storm. There's so much information on this. And look at the winds now at 70 miles per hour. So that's increased too a little bit. So we're talking 70 miles per hour winds, 2-inch hail. Thankfully, that really large hail, as the Weather Service was mentioning, maybe sometimes that maximum estimated hail size is a little overdone.
Yep.
It was still concerning seeing that, but we haven't seen reports of baseballs, thankfully, wind-driven baseballs. But if you have something, let us know. But there's that track, and now I want to bring up our WeatherBug Network camera from Mount Magazine. So this is a look at the storm looking off to the west. It's just a constant lightning show.
Man. We got new reports as well. Power lines down at a couple of locations on the north side of Fort Smith. So these are a lot of reports coming in. Obviously, this storm just went through a pretty populated area in the Fort Smith, Van Buren, Arcoma area. So going to continue to see. Yep. And we're getting reports slow moving traffic.
Bring that up. Connor, our producer in the control room, saying slow moving traffic on 540. Yeah. Looks like someone hydroplaned potentially off on the side. Maybe the rain is super heavy too.
Look at that.
Now we got a different view. We'll go back to Max 2. This is a little bit of a better feed from our Mount Magazine WeatherBug Network camera. And look, just the lightning flashes are just tremendous. So all that sunshine throughout the day led to all this activity. But it looks like, I think maybe the tornado possible tag might have been dropped.
Yep. And I was just going to say they canceled the severe thunderstorm warning that was moving into Sequoia and LaFleur. So that might be the one.
It's already moved. It's already moved out of that area. So LaFleur, Sequoia County, in western sections of the basically viewing area, that storm's already passed on. So for those areas in Sallisaw and Remy and Muldrow, storm's already pushed through.
Stratiform rain now. There is another cell down to the just behind this one. It's a little further south and west, and that will be down the line moving into portions of northern LaFleur County. That one's making the beeline over towards Kyoto, which is just outside of LaFleur County, but you can see Panama, and that will be moving towards you over the next hour or so. Also, latest scans where the hail core kind of disappeared as it went over the radar. Now we're starting to see that reshow itself as it moves off to the east over towards Kibler. Not as big as it is, but again, we're still very close to the radar looking on the backside of some of this storm now. So keep that in mind as this continues to push off to the east. Still has that considerable tag on it.
I want to do something real quick. We're going to bring up Max 2 as soon as this is done loading. This is the hail core and essentially what we were looking at with this storm. Now, obviously it drops off. There's for good reason there because it's going right over the radar in Fort Smith and Barling, Fort Chaffee. The reason why that hail core disappears because the radar can't scan straight up to get all the storm. But look at this. This is when the storm first started initially developing. And this is when we started our live stream when it was just entering into southwestern Adair County. And then it started cranking up. And I was like, we got to get on the air for this. This is a dangerous storm that could potentially really impact people. Starting to get some pictures too.
Yep. So that was over towards Muldrow.
So Muldrow, quarter size hail. Yeah. And that was a little bit on the, if you'll notice, we'll bring that up. Muldrow is on the southern tip of that largest hail core. So if you were north of Muldrow and between Aikens and Remy and Roland, you might have gotten bigger hail, especially southeast of Brushy. In fact, this is just an estimate. It's not perfect. It's sometimes a little overdone, but this will give you an idea of what this was showing, potentially 2.5 inches, maybe a little bit bigger. And then here's a 2.4. So yeah, it was a pretty intense hail core for sure as it moved through, and now it continues southeast. So as this storm is tracking, let's give you the latest.
Still moving southeast at 40 miles per hour. So it hasn't picked up speed, but it is continuing chugging along.
And we'll see if there was any circulation associated with this. There was that tornado possible tag. You can kind of see a little bit of that rotation. This mainly looked like an elevated storm to me as that hail core and the outflow really undercut the storm. But let's go back to the radar. Let's do another track. Let's let people know where this is headed. We'll also do the other storm too. So we're talking a little smaller hail now, 1.5 inches. That's about ping pong size. Moving southeast at 40 miles per hour. I'm going to do a track right on the leading edge of the storm because you get the gust front out ahead of it. So let's take a look here at what we've got. Central City at 9:15. Washburn 935, Barber 941, and Magazine, which is coming towards Mount Magazine, that's 952. So a little before 10 o'clock. Just the severe weather season has been relentless, Davion.
It
just
really
doesn't
has.
seem like it stops.
It's been quite the spring season.
We'll work our way southwest, and this is the other severe thunderstorm warning. We want to track this for our friends in LaFleur County. This is moving, again, southeast at about 40 miles per hour.
Yep.
So go ahead and we'll track that 40 miles per hour to the southeast. Let me update that track here. You'll see these numbers change just a little bit.
And again,
Panama 949, Poto at 10 o'clock, and Monroe at 10:12, just to name some of those towns.
Yeah, I was just going to say, again, just a reminder, if you live north of there, Northwest Arkansas, absolutely nothing. Nothing's going on. Maybe some stratiform rain as you head towards southern portions of Fayetteville and get over towards Winslow, southern Washington County, as well as Madison County. But this is the main storms that we're tracking right now, the two storms that are warned right now.
Yeah. So we talked about this storm. We covered it as it went through Fort Smith and Van Buren. We're going to continue this on our stream, and it's going to be on 479 First. We're also streaming on Facebook, on X, on YouTube, Mr. Weather Dan on YouTube. And we also got it on our website, KNWA. So if you want to continue watching these storms as they're moving in, go ahead and do so. Scan that QR code. But I'm going to send you back to your sporting events. We'll continue to watch this. We'll let you know if this hail core is getting any bigger. But keep it here with your weather authority for the latest severe weather information. All right, guys, we're going back to the live stream. The storm's weakened somewhat, and it's not tornado warned, but it is still a dangerous storm. We've provided all the information. We've done the storm tracks. At this point, you know, if we're going on more and more and more, we're just repeating ourselves 100 times, which is great. And people want to watch the live coverage, they can do that. So that's why we're doing this. Is what they said is pretty bad right now in Kibler.
Yeah,
and rightfully so. The storm's right over your area.
Yep.
Check out this this WeatherBug network camera here from Mount Magazine. Well, no, don't tell me you went down.
Mount Magazine was up earlier.
Let me hold on. Let me see if I can refresh.
While he does that,
maybe we can get it back up.
Yeah. So you mentioned it being bad over in Kibler.
Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll take a look at that here.
Yeah, that storm's right on top of you guys. Alma, notice how the reflectivity really extends all the way up from Natural Dam all the way down to Barling. But the worst of it, where we saw the hail, of course, from Rudy down to Kibler and points just due south of that, just to the north of Barling and Lavaca. And it's continuing to move over towards the east. Mulberry, you guys will be next in line. Lavaca, you guys have probably already had the gust front come through, but it hasn't started the heaviest precipitation yet, unless you're on the far western side of town. But again, if you live anywhere along this route right here, this will be, let's see if I can plot this.
Okay, I got it, by the way. You can bring up Max 1 and Max 2. Yep. So there you go.
Look at that.
Oh, lightning is tremendous. There was. Will Chester get hit with hail too? So this is interesting. I can't wait to see the results of it. Mega Doppler was way overdone on the estimated hail sizes. There might have been so much hail that it was just showing those large image, but it's going to be interesting to research why it was so big.
Yeah, definitely will be.
I know it's sometimes bigger than what it shows, but by the way, they did MRMS too, didn't they?
Yeah,
Weather Service, yeah.
Closer to 2 inches.
Closer to 2, yeah. I still think north of southeast of Brushy was probably some of the biggest hail, and we haven't gotten any reports from that.
I'm just thankful that
wild is wild in Green Forest.
So they continue the severe thunderstorm for Crawford and Sebastian. That makes sense, but it's no longer, of course, it's no longer considerable. That's dropped off. That's new. It's the newest report.
Okay. Yeah, that's why exactly we dropped off of the live stream. I mean, we dropped off of the live television coverage.
Yep. So we got a ECD out for from the Little Rock station. I'm going to check that out really quickly.
So I don't know if Fox is going to record again, if they're going to try, or what they're going to do. But man, this is just wild. This is cool. The storm is visually, I know it's destructive. I know it did a lot of damage, but just visually, I do like a lightning show. But I know that could be a little scary. I'm going to take this camera. I'm going to point it a little bit more to the west.
So on the Mega Doppler side of your screen.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh man.
Oh man, that was an amble crawler that lasted for days.
Perfect timing. You see that little appendage? Like
anything you're seeing on radar? That's what I was going to ask. It looks like it kind of looks disconnected.
Yeah, nothing on radar that's screaming any type of location whatsoever. This is gusted out.
It's a little disconnected from the base.
You can see the. Well, there you go, Dan.
Not as windy on the south side of Fort Smith. Thanks so much, Pam, for that.
There's the gust front. The bright green.
How about this? I pulled off the scale in Oklahoma before rolling, and the winds hit me out of nowhere, man. You're rolling dime-size hail in Van Buren. Okay, so that's not. Oh, Joel's on here answering questions. Got the next gen notification on my area east of Elmer. Yep. Sweet. How about this? I rebuke this foul, evil storm. You can calm the wind.
Now, I will say this storm is definitely undercut. You can see the gust front. There's no tornado potential with this storm. That doesn't mean it can't be.
Ozark,
dangerous.
Arkansas has a good camera. I bet it does. Let's bring that up on do on Max 2. Yeah. Do weather prod, and I think we can bring up. Yeah, bring up the Ozark iDrive camera because that'll have good lightning too. But this lightning show is awesome, is amazing.
That's on 2, right?
Josh would say these clouds are just dangly bits. Just dangly bits.
Okay, here it is. Whoa. That was a.
Is that Ozark?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a crawler, but the banner is in the way.
Okay, so here we go. Bring this up on Max 1. So this is iDrive Arkansas, Ozark, and this is looking westbound. So it's actually looking in the proper direction of the storm.
That was perfect timing. You can just see the fingers on the outside of the banner. There it is.
Crazy lightning show just south of Chaffee. Sounding a little wild in Harrison. You know, it's interesting because there might not be a very heavy rain or storm activity in the river in northwest Arkansas. However, there is I think a little bit of a wake low that's developing, and so some gusty winds, and that makes sense because look, this is not much in terms of reflectivity. But what happens with a wake low is you get on the backside of these cells, you get a little localized low pressure area, okay? And then you get high pressure that's just right behind it. And the pressure gradient force runs from high to low. Yep. So if you're looking at this, you're getting some pretty strong winds that are coming out of nowhere, even though it's barely raining. Or if it is raining, it's raining a little. And this is what we call by a wake low. So this is a wake low where the low pressure system on the backside of the line is creating this wind. Now let's see how good the models are. And let's see if the wind is being resolved in that with those wind streams. This will be interesting to see. And not really. It does show the localized high pressure. It shows a little bit of gusty winds in Harrison. And it does have those stronger winds in northwest Arkansas. But
starting to see stronger reflectivities once again.
Okay.
As it finally gets out of the radar hole that it's been in. So, of course, hail, it suspended itself, but it's starting to build back up. Some quarter-size hail, nickel to quarter size for right now. And notice how it's elongated now too. It's a more so of
Yeah.
a line, a big line of a storm instead of that cluster where it was able to really put up and support some very large hail.
I still think it was bigger than golf ball.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. New severe thunderstorm one, Crawford, Franklin, Sebastian.
So a new one coming out.
Yep. Probably just an extension of this one.
Okay, that's going to be happening here. Wonder why the alerts aren't working again. You know that?
No. Yep.
Yeah, because I never got the alert. In fact, I'm not getting any alert. Yeah, can you guys keep the hail over there? Rain's starting to pick up in Alma. Let's show you our Alma WeatherBug Network camera.
Drenched.
Oh man, look at the clouds.
Wow.
Look at the rain curtains. Some really strong rain curtains. Now, let me go back over here and go to Alma. Look at Alma High School.
There's that news warning box. So Cecil, Branch, Charleston, Washburn.
Whoa,
Whoa.
that was quite a wind shift just now. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's on the back side of the line. But this is looking due west. And I know because I reset all the presets.
Oh, that's strong winds, right?
And we got strong winds coming over Alma right now. So you're right on the back edge of this line.
Now, Dan, I want to bring your attention to something.
Yeah.
I want you to see the evolution of that and compare that with radar.
Uh-huh.
If that breaks, we'll have to watch this area.
A line break,
Yeah,
right?
If that breaks, yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you what he's looking at.
So this is the evolution of the storm.
Mm-hmm.
You can see how, of course, strong winds over Alma. We're seeing that right now. But you notice how that the winds that are going away from the radar are starting to try and wrap around, and that does coincide with
The reflectivity drop and everything. That's some strong winds. There's no doubt about that, which is exactly what you're seeing. The weather radio went off, and that's because of a new severe thunderstorm warning. So let me bring that up.
Here's that extension. Mulberry, you guys are included in that. Charleston. It goes all the way down to Washburn, but I think this storm will pass to the north of you guys if it continues on this exact track, unless it continues to build down south. But Fort Chaffee getting in on some heavy rain, maybe some hailstones as well. Yeah, so you've got a line of nickel to quarter size hail.
Yeah. Now it won't be as large as what it was earlier because it's not necessarily a supercell either.
Yep.
But now it's more of a linear type of event, which means it's transitioning to damaging wind potential. All right, let's do another track on this. Let's show you the latest warning. Matter of fact, I'm going to reboot Prism, okay? Because maybe that'll help out why it's not doing the alerts.
So right now, there's a long line of storms, again, extending from pretty much Mountainburg all the way down to through Lavaca and Fort Chaffee. The newest warning has Charleston, Branch, Mulberry, Cecil, just to the south of Ozark and Altus. You guys will be seeing this storm within the next few minutes.
Weather 2 stream, there's a iDrive. Bring that up here.
Clarksville. Man,
that's not even where the heavy rain is. You can see the lightning off in the distance, but that's about it. Good question. Peter Pender, yes, something. Randall is headed towards Peter Pender. Let's show you. They're in the severe thunderstorm warning.
Also wanted just to let you know, the cell that we were previously mentioning that was heading towards LaFleur County.
Yeah, it will not still, severe anymore.
Yeah, not severe anymore, but it will still bring some rain. That's good news. So this is our story of the night.
So let's do a track and show Peter Pender is about to be impacted, but it's not super strong. It's a 1.5 inch hail, which is still large. That's, by the way, ping pong size. Severe thunderstorm warning does include Franklin, Sebastian, and Crawford County. This storm is moving southeast at approximately, really kind of more easterly, to be honest with you. Let's put it into motion over the last, it's kind of spreading out and going more easterly. So I'm going to remove the warning on the screen now that you see it. and we'll do a track. Most dangerous portion of the storm moving east. Let's draw the little storm track on there. We'll get it right on the leading edge of the gust front, which is concerning. If that line break does happen, we'll take it and we'll move it like kind of like that. So there you go. Branch 939. Charleston before that 933. So I should be able to zoom in and show you Peter Pender right there. So Peter Pender is literally at about the time of Branch.
Man, look at Alma is.
So you got 7 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes before the storm starts moving into your area.
Still got strong winds in the Alma region.
Okay, let's go to. Yeah, I wish that camera would work.
Keeping a very close eye on that region over there, but
I'm going to do something real quick. Studio mode.
that camera's getting hammered. Alma High School. Here's a new report, Sebastian County Emergency Management. Thankfully, they're saying around Fort Smith so far, just several penny to quarter size reports are covering the ground as it moved over.
It definitely weakened.
Yeah,
the hail
so
core definitely dumped
because-
before it got there.
Yeah, because that was,
Yeah.
those are the highest reflectivities I've ever seen. Obviously, I have a very young career,
Yeah.
but I've never seen it consistently show the black, white, and gray for that much.
In the meantime, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to try to see if I can get this.
So strong winds along US Highway 64 over towards Alma. Also got some stronger winds, of course, moving through Mulberry, heading towards Cecil. That's the gust front. And then there'll be some heavy precipitation to follow. Keeping a very close eye on the Alma region. It's that Mount Magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
That might be why it wasn't working. Hold on, let's see. Ha 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 ha! Right. We back. Perfect. Okay. That's what happens when they change the IP address. Okay. Perfect. So now I can bring this up and show you my magazine. Look at this lightning show.
Boom. We back.
So slow though.
I was about to say, just like that, never mind.
Yeah, I know, no kidding. This is better though. Northwest Arkansas has always really been in the clear. Yeah, it is starting to weaken. There's no doubt about that. It's a base severe thunderstorm warning right now.
Yep.
Move it east a little bit. I'll show you the track. Northwest Arkansas, good night. We are good. We got it. There's a look at the path here. Charleston 934. So it's literally right on top of Peter Pender in about 7 minutes. But this storm is not even major severe anymore, so that's good news. Okay, let's do a quick update on everything. Northwest Arkansas, have a great Friday night. It's nearly 10 o'clock, and do you know where your storms are? They're not there. A little bit of heavy rain over southern Madison County. That's it. This is the most dangerous storm in the River Valley, and that's it. That's the last of the warnings. You definitely had to do that update, though. I feel very good about doing that, especially as nasty as it was. That definitely deserved to be on television. Now, here's what's really cool is that we can look back at the recording of this camera from Mount Magazine. I mean, from Kisser FM.
Kisser, yeah, because that storm, that view, that might have been the best view of a storm we've had since I've been here. That and the Mount Magazine from a few weeks ago.
And you'll see a wall cloud at first, and then it just dies.
Fell apart, thankfully.
Yeah.
Taking a look at some comments. NWA, good night. We are good. Yes, NWA, good night.
I'm gonna slow this time lapse down. Yeah, perfect. Check this out. Got a good shot of my Booty. Sorry about that. It is what it is.
Save that.
All right, here we go.
This might be the best storm time.
This is awesome.
Oh man.
So this is what it looked like earlier. I sped this up 32 times. Look, you can see that lowering, and then watch that lowering just get choked off, dies. But you can see the updraft in the foreground, and then you can see that rotation. It's mid-level rotation though. Oh, what's going on? It's super jerky. Hold on. Once we get a new computer for this, it'll be better too.
Yeah.
Stop. Oh, I know why it's doing that. Okay, I could stop recording. Let me go back. Hold on. I got to stop recording. That's going to tax it. Let me go back and make sure I'm not recording any others. Still recording my magazine, but we can do that. All right. Now it should be a smoother time lapse. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. Check this out. All right, so you can see the updraft, and you can see the rotation. You see the counterclockwise rotation. Come on. Stop glitching. It's still glitching. Yeah. This computer is terrible. All right, so that's sped up 16 times. I guess it can handle that. Look at that. A lot of lightning there. To get a tie for broken glass. They'll have a hail tie. I don't have a hail tie.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
One day I was looking at the icons building the show, and I was like, "Huh, do you have a head icon?"
I saw that. I saw that comment, huh? He's still monitoring that. We're going to continue watching this, but watch this hail core just engulf. And you can see this progressive scan lines in the video. It won't have that when I time lapse it. Looks like blinds, doesn't it? Like you're looking out of a window with blinds. Now, personally, I don't know if the tornado possible was valid on this cell. Maybe briefly, but then you could tell it was elevated. So that wall cloud did develop, but man, did it get undercut fast. Yeah, that might give you a seizure here.
Yeah, warning.
Yeah, warning. That's pretty crazy. I want to get to the part where
nickel to dime size reports near Central City over towards Barling. That was on the far southern tip of the largest of the hailstorm, though.
Yeah.
In fact, Barling was right over the radar. So that was
look at it engulf the city right here. You can see that. There's all those
city
lights,
and then just
gone.
Nothing.
And then that's it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a live view. Hey, we didn't lose the camera. Mount Magazine's got some flashes going on. All right. We'll stay on this storm a little bit longer, but it's starting to weaken quite a bit. Thankfully.
I hope that stays weak too.
There's the rain in Ozark. All right, back to Mega Doppler. I'm gonna go quick to the newsroom and just. So there was just a bunch of quarters, wasn't it? Quarter size.
Yeah,
Wait, there was a bigger one right there. It's golf ball.
Yeah.
Wind-driven golf ball too. I still want to know what happened north of Aikens.
Yeah.
But look at how rural this is.
You're not going to get any reports from that.
Nah, you ain't going to get anything. Look. Yeah, probably. Let's see.
Turn this on.
There we go. So this is where I personally believe the largest hail was. I'll go back in time and see. This is an extremely rural area. There's just nothing there. So if there was large hail, that's overdone. Now, granted, that's the very, very largest, and that seems a little more likely. But then again, we saw like 2.5, 3 inches, and it was producing 4. So you just never know. See, we never got any reports. None of the reports came.
Wow, the storm was at its
strongest in that area. I think it was bigger.
And again,
unless it was, partially melted hail and you had a bunch of bright banding around the hail. That's a possibility. They mentioned earlier not a lot of melting happening earlier. I do want to say though, even without, that was a big lightning strike. Probably lost there for a second. I said, please, you just. But even just talked about how we had it. Now here's the problem. This puppy is coming right for Mount Magazine. So if you want to know where our camera is, there it is. And this is coming. Watch. Oh man. Yes, sir. Yeah. Please do. Yeah. Yep. How large? Quarter golf balls? Okay.
It's wild.
Yeah.
The biggest I've seen. I've had some since.
Oh yeah, that's big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where was that at?
Portsmouth.
Okay.
Yep. I called, just so you know, when y'all were live, I called Collier County Sheriff. I have his cell. I called the Florida County Sheriff. I have his cell, and they weren't answering anything.
Yeah. Nothing.
Thankfully,
we need to know by Aikens. Aikens, I think, had the large southeast of Brushy, but it's very foresty. Yeah.
The funny thing is, wrapping up that off, you have the phone call. So usually they're calling right that they can't see the range being whatever. Oh, then they were right to keep the weather down.
Yeah.
Oh, you got through the River Valley, and you just don't care about the rest of it. So I'm going to.
Can't win. We're still live streaming right now. Yeah. We're still covering it. It just is the storm weakened a little bit from what it was. It's not that we don't care. If we didn't care, we wouldn't continue the live stream right now. So, yeah. And Mount Magazine's getting ready to get hit. I've got it recording.
I wonder if that cloud will be I think it'll be as low as last time.
I don't even know, Carrie, because Davion did the forecast. I was out at a cereal drive. I knew Northwest Arkansas would kind of be not as bad, but Davion, what Mother's Day? What do we got?
I'll be honest.
Rain.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Her wanted to show just a lot of rain, mainly in the morning and in early afternoon time frame.
Yeah.
And after that, obviously it's warm. There'll be some lightning strikes with that. It won't be all just neutral rain, but.
Yep.
I think we got some showers and storms. Now, down south in the River Valley, I think they'll be a little stronger. That's where that severe risk does exist. Level 1. Level 2, slight risk, partially clips far southern LaFleur and Scott County, but I think it's going to be mostly a hail threat.
Oh, they changed it.
Yeah, so that's...
They updated this. This is Saturday night into Sunday, Saturday morning and Sunday morning. The day 3?
Yeah,
that's the day 2. Yeah.
I can show you
Just stop with the risks already, please.
Right? You can. Her should still be in that show further down. It's the extended with Kate. Might be the second one that shows. Yeah, it is. Okay. So obviously this is a model run. It's not perfect.
Yeah, how bad was the HRRR yesterday for today? It barely showed anything.
And today, it kind of didn't do the hottest either because it had a lot of storms in Northwest Arkansas. But yeah, that's where you see.
There you go. There's the line.
And that's more than what it showed earlier on that show. And it's not done yet if it's anything like earlier. It keeps going. Okay, I guess it does cut off. So yeah. So that's a little.
That's definitely a stormy Mother's Day morning.
Yeah, definitely. Early at that. Late night.
Yeah, that's the latest thinking on that. But then that's just the model.
Yep.
So
Just the model.
let's get back to covering this storm, and then we're gonna drop off the live stream as it begins to move towards Logan County.
Yep.
We'll keep on it into Logan County. We'll do a part of our newscast, and then we'll drop off. But I got to build my show.
Yeah.
I don't have
it's
anything built for the newscasts.
one of those days. Huh? So the hell core has
Wait a
significantly
minute.
gone down. What happened?
So Dan, if I were to mail to you, do you have like a box or a cat sent to the station? I don't want a cat. I got a cat at home, and the cat meows so much in the night when I get home. Like, there's no way I can sneak in. She'd bust me every time.
Yeah.
Just, I'm like,
He said,
"You gonna wake up Jennifer?" Ah,
so north of Barling, again, yeah, that's when the storm started to weaken.
yeah.
47 knot peak gusts from the Fort Smith ASOS.
That probably was a little south of the strongest winds.
Yep.
So,
airport.
yeah, hold on, I like the cat. Every type of cat. I don't know. It might be like Aunt Betty when she wraps her cat in Christmas Vacation. She wrapped her darn cat. Yeah, gusty winds, storms definitely. He's looking. I'm showing, by the way, all this.
Sorry.
That's all right.
You see me nerding out on the
Yeah.
Mega Doppler. But yeah, the hell core has significantly went down. We're talking about maybe anywhere from P to nickel size.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot smaller.
Yeah, a lot smaller. But this is moving towards Driggs. How do you say that? Coxville?
Yeah, Coxville. Right? Yep.
Nice. Paris. Like you said, right over towards Mount Magazine.
Yep.
Hopefully we don't lose that camera. We just got it back.
Well, here's the deal. We'll enjoy it while I got it because it's going away here pretty soon.
Lightning.
There it is.
There's a lot of lightning too.
Watch an amble crawler just come out of nowhere and zap it.
And again, there's so much going on this weekend, with it being Mother's Day weekend kickoff. You got graduations that were today, even more tomorrow. It's just a lot.
Trying to adjust the camera here. Doesn't want to move. It's fixed on that location. I want to look at the core. Maybe it'll move eventually. Doug's going to show us a video. Okay, here's the deal, Davion.
Yep.
I got to stop talking.
Yeah, you got to build the show.
I got to build the show.
Yep.
That's a part of what we do.
Part of what we do. It's your turn. Last time it was my turn.
I know.
So there's a live look, Mount Magazine. We're continuing to show you the electrified storm that's heading right towards the camera. Oh,
if I was to mail you something.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, the address, like the station. Yeah, you can look it up, the KWA address. You can definitely find it.
I promise it's not that.
What was that? Oh, yeah. Okay. Boomville is going to be a good shot. Let's bring that in. Boomville. There you go. This is looking straight north. Yep. You can see those power lines.
Is this really an elementary school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's
I had to
Boonville Elementary, but it's also Boonville High School. So it used to be the elementary school. They moved the elementary school, and now they got the high school. So it actually is the high school.
The high school. Okay.
But in order to change that, it's a pain in the butt.
Boonville Elementary, it is.
So it is Boonville Schools.
Yeah.
How about that?
Boonville Schools. Certainly has a good view. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know what they're going to do for Fox. They were trying to record, but we had to go on.
Yeah, had to. I think they were able to get in touch with Master Control.
They're just going to fill it.
I think so.
Yeah, it's just that point. Too much going on.
Still getting some hail reports over in Cecil. That's just to the south and west of Ozark and Altus. So we're not quite done in terms of just storms, but nowhere near as large as what it was earlier. This is live look mega Doppler, the hell cores. You can see really not showing too much of much. Again, P to nickel size at best for now.
Yeah.
Thankfully, storm is on a weakening trend. These were fueled by daytime heating. We didn't expect this to be a very long overnight setup. That cold front zipped right through our region. So that's good news. Still have some stratiform rain off to the north. A few lightning strikes with that as well. But most of the activity, again, very quiet. Northwest Arkansas, fine. Nothing going on. This has been one persistent warning. I will say that, though. Still has 23 minutes remaining. And looking at the winds, I mean, Grant still does have some gusty winds with it. But everything is undercut, so no real tornado potential. Mount Magazine, though, probably has a good view, just like Boonville. So there's Mount Magazine. You can see Driggs, Boonville starting to get in on some action. Blue Mountain. This is a very familiar area now, huh? I'm getting real familiar with this area.
Yeah, you are. Doing all that. Now you need to visualize it.
Yeah, I know, right? I need to get there.
Yeah. Quarter size hail. Thank you for that. Yeah, we saw the MPing reports. We've got them all on there. You can go roll over those reports.
Oh, yeah. Back over here.
By the way, yeah, I think they're MPing, aren't they? Yep.
So again, Fort Smith area, the worst of the storm, the hailstones that were suspended dropped before it moved in, but still numerous reports of, I think this is big one, 1.75 inches.
Yeah, it's golf ball.
Yeah, it's golf ball hail, 1.25, 1.
So here's what I'm gonna do.
Van Buren picking up on some of the hail as well.
I'm gonna build a really cool first forecast.
Nice.
And I'm gonna show that camera. You're
So
gonna hit
Dan,
play though for me, okay?
Gotcha. So Dan's buildings forecast. I'm showing you Mega Doppler right now, just showing you the latest. This warning still does have, again, about 21 minutes remaining. This is for Paris, Driggs, Boonville. So still seeing that. Here's a look at the hail core. Again, trending down every scan. So unless the winds continue to be above 58 miles per hour, I suspect that this will be allowed to expire, but they may just keep it on to let it expire as it runs out of time. But still going to be some heavy rain nonetheless, and this will be moving. Let's see, kind of plot some roads here. Paris, this is State Highway 22, moving over towards you. East Walnut Street. Is it Subiaco? Yes.
Yep, Subiaco.
Nice. That's south of Prairie View.
That's where Marty's at. Marty's retiring.
Oh wow. Is that where you're from? Where he's from?
That's where he's from. Yeah,
Nice.
Subiaco.
Nice. Well, Marty, if you're listening, probably not because you're having fun retiring.
Yeah.
But if you're listening,
Well, he's not retiring until the end of the year.
Okay. I was going to say, well, about to be some get a little loud there. Some lightning probably already happening, but little strong cell moving towards you. Severe thunderstorm warning. Again, no tornado threat absolutely whatsoever. I know you're seeing that, but that is behind the gust front. We'll keep an eye on it, but not impressive whatsoever. This is just elevated storms. Thankfully, as we saw, they tried out west. Dan, I was looking at Mega Doppler a little earlier, and over in northeast Oklahoma
On the circulations.
Yeah, the circulations, they were trying. They were cut off, undercut, thankfully, but certainly if you look up what a classic supercell is, you'll be able to solve.
I saw
Exactly.
the hook.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I saw the hook, but was it truly surface based?
No, it was
Yeah.
mid levels, but it did have a lower level mesocyclone that NWS noted, but it never really got its act together.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it got undercut. The boundary was like just ahead of it. So that was good news. Seeing that. Still do have a strong cell over towards Poto. Not severe warn, but definitely going to be some heavy rain starting to move in. Shady Point, Panama, you guys already experienced some of that, starting to calm down. Cameron, you guys are going to start to get in on some of that. There's the orientation of that. Actually has Mega Doppler showing quarter-sized tail with that, so we'll keep an eye on that. see if there's any strong winds that go severe, but I don't think so as of right now. There's another cell out west tracking in, but that looks like it's a weakening. We've been on a weakening trend, so that'll likely expire as we go throughout the next several minutes.
Oh, there it comes.
Wow, look at that. So
It's so.
yeah.
Hey,
I'll pull that up while you, yeah. Mount
Hold on.
Magazine.
yeah.
But yeah, so we'll give you a live look at Mount Magazine here in just a few seconds. But we can also, we're going to show you first forecast.
Yeah.
That'll be PCR, right?
Yep. PCR.
Gotcha.
That's correct.
So still getting health ports in too. That's out west.
Yeah. All right. So we drop that off.
Yeah, I was told to tell you that that is 5 miles north of
Muldrow?
Muldrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Muldrow?
Yeah, that seems like that would be the biggest part of the hail core. 5 miles more north of Muldrow. So that's like basically here's Muldrow, and that would be right there. That would be right in the heart of that. That was some big hail. Either it was big hail or it was a lot of hail. And so I will bring up Mega Doppler too.
Yeah, I'll go back so you can see the evolution.
All right. Oh yeah, so it's Muldrow.
Gotcha.
5 miles north of Muldrow. And how big was it? I want to know because that's definitely the location of the largest hail. I thought
that's definitely.
if it wasn't bigger than golf balls, there were so many golf balls in there that it was detecting a lot of DBZ.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, how far back does Mega Doppler go in hours? How big is this?
About 2
hours.
No, that's about it. It's an hour and a half is how long it goes back.
Okay.
We're going to be on max 2.
So this is when the hell.
That's the same video you saw earlier.
Yeah, I know, but did they ever mention how much? Did they ever measure it?
No.
Go out into the battlefield. Right off the top, man.
He's getting some.
Yeah. Is Doug pitching to me or what? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Muldrow. North of Muldrow.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest hail core. So we've got it right here. It looked like bigger than golf balls to me. It was like 2-inch, just bombarding.
Yeah, but this is when it already started falling to the ground, suspending. Damn, that's my check. We got the same.
Yeah. Just have it on the wall. I'll step in front of it, and then we'll go to everything else.
All right, we're getting ready to transition.
Sounds
into the
good.
Live newscast. So
There's a new
here,
severe
all the
thunderstorm
information.
warning. You can bring that up on max 1. Just click on it. We'll bring it up. It's probably for this pesky cell. Oh, did you click on the thing or no? If you click on it, it'll load up the new warning. Don't forget PCR. Okay. When it pops up, you can't see it anymore. It's just basically this right here. They issued a new one for the Florida County.
That was the one I had an eye on. Yeah.
Okay, get ready, PCR.
Yep.
And then don't forget to hit play on this too.
Gotcha.
Got it? Okay. Yep. Here we go. Stand by. Go.
George's Heating and Air.
Yeah, check this out. This is north of Muldrow from earlier this evening, and this is a bombarding of hail. And some hail up to the size of golf balls, maybe even larger. You can see trees getting shredded. I'll just let you listen to this here for a second. That's what the River Valley experienced earlier this evening. Now, we actually have a view of this storm as it was coming into Fort Smith. Let's go to the graphics if we can. Here's Hyle Heating Cooling Mega Doppler showing that severe thunderstorm warning. We'll take you through the largest hail north of Muldrow in Sequoia County. And as we take a look again at this storm, this is as it was moving into the Fort Smith and Van Buren area. This is a time lapse of what we call a high precipitation supercell. You can see the slow rotation as well as that large hail core off of the distance. This is the storm that developed all the way northwest of Tulsa, continued to track southeast, brought strong winds and power outages in the river valley. That storm continues to be severe. Here's a look at that hail core. We'll give you a detailed look at that coming up in the full weather forecast. And now Mount Magazine is getting the impacts of this storm. You can see the lightning off in the distance as well. Temperatures have dropped across the river valley, but still in the upper 60s to lower 70s in Boonville and Poto. Northwest Arkansas experiencing gusty winds, but as far as the lightning and thunderstorm activity, that's coming to an end. How about starting the day tomorrow on a beautiful note? Lots of sunshine, gorgeous weather, but we still have more storms ahead for tomorrow night and into Mother's Day. We'll have all that coming up in your full forecast as your news starts now.
Proudly covering the Northwest Arkansas community. This is KNWA News at 10.
Well, tonight and into the weekend, the massive cleanup continues after thousands of gallons of toxic chemicals spilled into two major rivers there. Thanks for joining us. I'm Doug Warner.
And I'm Allie Lynch. This comes after more than 300 fish have been found dead in a creek located near last weekend's chemical spill. KNWA's Phoebe Kramer spent the day in the river valley getting the latest updates in the cleanup process. And Phoebe, the city is now making sure everyone has a one-stop shop to see the latest in those cleanup efforts.
That's right, Doug and Allie. I spoke with the Fort Smith Fire Department today. They're one of multiple agencies helping in the cleanup efforts. They tell me that there's a new website available to track the progress of the chemical spill cleanup while allowing residents to ask any ongoing questions. Since last Saturday, Fort Smith crews have been cleaning up 86,000 gallons of toxic chemicals after a spill.
It's a pretty nasty acid, so it's a low on the pH scale.
Fort Smith Fire Captain Christopher Turpin says officials are still trying to figure out what caused a chemical tank to rupture, leading to acidified aluminum sulfate and sulfuric acid running into a nearby creek and killing more than 300 fish.
It's not something you want to get on you or be involved in. So my advice to the citizens is absolutely stay out of that water, stay away from that area if at all possible until they get all the cleanup measures done.
That creek could potentially flow into the Poto and Arkansas rivers, meaning crews are working against the clock to try and prevent the chemicals from spreading.
So when the cleanup effort happens, they usually bring in, a bunch of people, lots of resources, lots of trucks, and they're doing soil samples, they're doing water samples.
Turpin says that when it comes to the environment and keeping people safe, the city needs to make sure every detail is addressed.
They also check the sewers, all of the storm drains, everything. So it just takes a long time for that stuff to happen.
The city's also launched a website where residents can ask questions and track the spill's cleanup process.
If anybody has any kind of questions about what's ongoing and how they can kind of get in contact with the company to talk to them about some information as well.
There is no set date of when the spill will be cleaned up. Officials say it would take up towards 4 to 6 weeks. And to be clear, Fort Smith is not under a boil order tonight. We're live in studio, Phoebe Kramer, KNWA, Northwest Arkansas News.
All right, Phoebe, thank you so much. Well, tomorrow marks the 34th year of the largest nationwide food drive that's collected nearly 2 billion pounds of food. The Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive is going on tomorrow, and its goal is to help combat the more than 47 million Americans who are unsure where their next meal will come from. All you have to do is fill up a plastic grocery bag with non-perishable food items and leave it by your mailbox. A mail carrier will pick it up tomorrow, and the food drive is put on every year by the National Association of Letter Carriers. Well, Mother's Day is just a couple of days away, but it can be a heavy holiday for those facing loss.
KNWA's Lauren Motley caught up with a local counselor to share expert advice on what to do if you or a loved one are really grieving this Mother's Day.
There's no right or wrong way. Like, it's okay to feel what you feel. And if you need to take some space, do that.
Mother's Day is just around the corner. And while some folks will be out buying gifts, for others, the holiday carries a lot of weight.
When I think about people who struggle on Mother's Day, I also think about clients that I worked with or people who are processing loss, whether it's loss of a child or loss of a parent or miscarriage, infertility. And maybe you have a parent that is alive that you don't have a relationship with.
And for those grieving this Mother's Day, Lauren Gray with Gray Lotus Counseling says that there are ways to prepare to work through those feelings.
Being aware, like this day is coming up, this is a hard day. So it's my plan to take care of myself. Maybe you need to give yourself permission to, one, be off social media. For me, I think what is really helpful is rituals. And so knowing what is something that I can do on that day that could be healing for me. That could look like going into the woods and like throwing rocks, or it could be writing a letter that you don't send.
And there are things loved ones can do to help too.
Showing up is a really important thing, whether that's just sending flowers or dropping a meal off, the text that's saying, hey, thinking of you, I know this is a hard time.
But however someone chooses to grieve, Gray says it's best to work through those emotions rather than ignoring them.
With grief, and especially if someone's struggling with Mother's Day, there's a tendency to push away or ignore the feelings that are coming up, but they only get louder. And so just really invite people to really, even though it can feel scary, meet them at the door.
That's Lauren Motley reporting. If you're interested in learning more, you can find that information when you find this reporting on our website, knwa.com. Well, it was a well-deserved paw tee for a Springdale police officer, P-A-W-T-Y, because it was a retirement party for K-9 Officer Oliver. No more chasing criminals, just chasing his own tail. Oliver joined the force in 2015, carrying out patrol work in the narcotics division. We had a chance to catch up with his partner at today's celebration, who says while he's still got some fight in him, he's happy he'll get to enjoy his retirement.
Usually they have something that's some injury related to work or a sickness or something that's developed over their career, and they go pretty quick. This is nice to be. He's slowed down. He's gotten older. Yes, we have bumps and bruises, but we've made it, and we can still keep going for a little bit longer and enjoy ourselves together, not be at work all the time.
Well, Corporal Booth says he's happy Oliver will now be able to spend more time with the other pets at the house, the grandkids, and the rest of the family.
Well, a local family-owned restaurant in Russellville with ties to a College Avenue favorite has officially closed its doors. Feltner's Whataburger, not to be confused with the chain, opened back in 1967. And just over an hour ago, the restaurant closed its doors for the last time. The restaurant making this announcement today on social media, saying in part, quote, "To every customer who chose us for lunch breaks, family dinners, after Razorback game meals, Arkansas Tech game meals, late night cravings, celebrations, hard days, and everything in between, thank you. You were never just customers to us. So many of you became family." My family's grown up going there. It's a staple. We're going to miss it.
Well, in tonight's 479 All-Stars, we're making a long-distance call to Sequoia County, Oklahoma. So check it out. That means 479. It's the 918 All-Stars. We can pivot like that. Before the storms and hail, the Sallisaw Black Diamonds, they were locked in a best-of-3 series against Ada, Oklahoma for the 4A Super Regional Championship. They split the first 2 games in today's matchup. Game 3, it went to Sallisaw. They cruised to a 12-2 win over Ada to punch their ticket to the state tourney that starts next Thursday in Oklahoma City. I don't like being at the bottom of a pile.
Must hurt.
A little claustrophobic. Congrats again to the Black Diamonds.
Well, a fun one over at Baumwalker Stadium tonight. The grand fashion in which it ended, plus one of the best track programs in the country, saying goodbye for the final time to its senior class. All that and more coming up next in your Patreon Nation.
And we got one severe thunderstorm warning left in the weather coverage area. This is in LaFleur County. This is headed towards Scott County. You can see that severe thunderstorm warning has about quarter-size hail and all of the hail reports. We'll take you through what happened just about an hour ago in the River Valley, and also what's ahead for the Mother's Day weekend. Keep your umbrellas handy. I'll just say that. We'll have that coming up after Pig Trail Nation.
You're watching KNWA News at 10 with Doug Warner, Allie Lynch, Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff, and your Pig Trail Nation report with Trey Dare.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Ozark Mountain Roofing. Integrity first, protecting what matters most.
All righty, everyone. Well, we're in the middle of the newscast. We still have another segment that's coming up. That's sports. You can go ahead and keep the camera because I'm still got to do some adjusting on this.
Yeah, Dan's building his show.
Front's
Kind of
already
similar to
through.
the crazy weekend a few weeks ago. I was stuck building my show while everything was going live. But latest information we do have in Sebastian County reported nearly 4,000 customers without power right now. Yeah, that's undoubtedly from the storms that rolled through just over an hour ago, if not right around an hour ago. Still do have a new severe thunderstorm warning, and this is for LaFleur County, moving into portions of Scott County and far Sebastian County as well. It will be into portions of Scott County.
I'm sighing because I'm thinking about that bug that happened with the warning system.
Yeah.
Golly.
The tour warned when there was no tour.
It's kind of like Tommy Boy when he's sitting on the couch and he's like, my dad died, I lost my job, I did this, did that, and he goes, how could it get any worse? And all of a sudden the bench collapses on him. He goes, could have done without that.
That was us today. We were hoping the storms would die off.
Could have done without that.
Yeah, realized they didn't. And then that bug.
They did for Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
River Valley was.
We should have been more. We should have been more specific.
Well, it's tough to know exactly where it is. That happened to me one time where I was like, yeah, I should have been more specific, and I said the River Valley will be dangerous, Northwest Arkansas won't. That's when a tornado came through Northwest Arkansas on October 21st, 2019, because the models failed big time.
Yeah. I think the models failed today. The HER had.
Oh, they had not nearly as much.
The HER had storms as early as 6 o'clock in our region, and it was a line from northwest to southwest or northeast to southwest. That didn't come to fruition.
Of course, it came to fruition. Yeah, of course.
So north of Monroe and heading towards Hartford, you guys are next in line for this lastly warned storm, severe thunderstorm warning. Again, moving into it's leaving LaFleur County in the next little bit, maybe entering into far southern Sebastian County before the storm eventually moves into Scott County after that.
What's funny too is this just shows you how bad the models are, but we went a little bit less on the storm chances in the River Valley, and yet that didn't come to fruition at all.
Happy forecast.
But there's nothing you can do about it. You know, it's just like all this. Well, what do I say, Davion? You got to know.
It's Northwest flow.
Yep.
I said in my show earlier, we're basically we're now casting now.
Oh, I thought you said you got to know it's Northwest Florida.
Because by the time the 6 o'clock showed up, you know, the HER, I mean, when you show models, you can't go back in time. So 6 o'clock and the HER had rain in Northwest Arkansas. It was not raining.
Yeah. And then they also had the risk not even happening until the watch was way out west going until 10.
Yeah.
That didn't happen either. So
storms are here and gone.
Yeah. We're in the middle of sports right now, but here's what we got going on right now. Sorry, I'm building this show.
Yeah.
Davion's showing Mega Doppler.
Yeah, I was showing Mega Doppler. Things are starting to calm down now. A lot of that is starting to turn into stratiform rain, and that means there's no hailstorms whatsoever. Yeah, there's no hail with that storm. Mainly the storm we're watching right now is in far northern LaFleur County, just to the east of Poto, and it's moving over towards Hartfield, and that'll be far southern Sebastian County, and then that'll enter into Scott County on that same trajectory. But again, these storms are fueled by daytime heating. It's 10 o'clock, the daytime heating is starting to go down. A lot of the area is rain cooled now. The cold front has passed through our area. At least it will be. Yeah, the cold front's passed through. We're starting to calm things down, thankfully. But that was a dangerous storm that ramped up pretty quickly.
Oh, that's a fucking first.
Yeah. Look at some comments here. Storms in Missouri tonight. No, there were storms earlier in Missouri, but they're kind of done. Yeah, Missouri's done.
Boonville has that lightning still, doesn't it? Let's see here.
We might have to turn it. The worst of it is past Boonville now.
Yeah, it's northeast, right?
Yeah.
I think the lightning's definitely decreased. These cells are dying out.
Yeah, they're dying. I don't anticipate this one to be severe warned much longer. That's a small hail core.
Can we do that again on the Weather 3? Do that time lapse again? I thought that was pretty cool. I haven't, Doug. Sorry, I've been. Hey, can you show that video again? I want to do a video in the middle of the news, the weather cast.
Oh wow.
Like, so we have like. Okay. Yeah. Still weather 2.
Some damage.
You got some damage?
Yeah, Doug sent us a picture. Someone's car's busted in.
Okay. You got to go back in time on that.
Yeah.
All right, stand by. Got the weather cast coming up. Not so much. It takes a while to build all this, and when you got storms in the middle of everything, it's like not very friendly. Oh, it's
not user friendly, not time friendly.
Not time friendly, all that stuff. I do want to show.
Well, we're glad you guys are friendly.
Yeah. Thanks for the man. I'm gonna show that energy swinging in. And I want to zoom out a little bit on it too. Okay, so you know what we got. Mega Doppler, we're just going to do that severe storm. I've got all the hail stuff in there ahead of it. Go here.
All right. Some new images in Slack as well.
Yeah, I haven't been able
to see Slack.
No, I haven't been able to look at pictures at all with my megaphone either.
Yeah. I usually get emails when we get something in megaphone.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it yet.
You probably have to show the QR code. Yeah. All right. It's going to be after Boonville. No. Go.
Accurate by weather rate.
All right, just a couple hours ago, we had a storm that moved through the river valleys a little before 9 o'clock. I want to show you a time lapse of today because this kind of sums up your Freaky Friday, if you will, especially if you're in the river valley. Watch what happens as we take away the time. It is a totally beautiful sunny day. Guess what? Tomorrow will be the similar story, as it'll be sunny to start off the day and then storms start rolling in. And there you see some of the lightning. And the storm thankfully dropped its severe limits as it moved in. But you got to see this. This is the storm that was moving into the Fort Smith Van Buren area. Computer's running a little slow, but you can see the updraft. You can also see the tremendous amount of lightning. This is the hail core associated with this storm as it drops southeast. This is from our Kisser FM WeatherBug Network camera, one of the greatest perch spots to view storms coming into the river valley. I'll show that whole time lapse later on and post that on social media. We were also watching the lightning show from Boonville Elementary School off to the north of Boonville. The most part of the dangerous most part of the storm was a little north. Temperatures right now in the lower to middle 60s across the river valley. Look at Poto at 72. Did not experience the thunderstorm activity like a lot of other locations did. Here's a look at the big picture, and this is what happened throughout the day. You saw us doing maybe those live reports from the Walmart at Pleasant Crossing. Well, those clouds are rolling in because of all of these storms that popped up. And those storms held together as they dropped southeast and moved into the river valley. In fact, here's one of the storms that was severe, and this is the one that we covered on television, briefly broke into programming. And if we look at the live Doppler radar, this was earlier. So here you can see 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, this thing moving through eastern Sequoia County, having a very large hail core with it. And the reports in Fort Smith were about quarter to golf ball size, but a little bit west of that is a different story. In fact, we go north of Muldrow. Here you see the most dangerous portion of the storm dropping southeast, moving over I-40. Here's a look at that hail core over the last basically 2.5 hours. And if we zoom in and pause it, little north of Muldrow, why don't we see what it was like to experience that hail core? We'll roll that video. Also crank up the sound if you can. That is a barrage of hailstones. And not only that, vegetation damage, shredding trees, knocking down some small limbs. And it looks like a tremendous amount of hail. Some of that as big as golf balls, maybe even larger. There's a whole lot of that. Let's go back to the graphics now, and we'll take a look at this hail core translated southeast. It started to weaken somewhat, and once that hail core started to lessen, that's when we dropped off of television, continued on our live stream. So there's quarter-size hail that happened in Poto. One severe thunderstorm warning left. Looking to the west of Waldron, Scott County might be included in that unless the storm weakens. Why did all these storms happen? Well, you've heard me say it before. I'll say it again. You got to know it's northwest flow. Models did not develop enough storms from what happened today, but there's the upper level support. And guess what? We got another one that's coming in. You can see the upper level spin. That northwest flow is going to take that perfectly southeast into our area. So let's talk about the Mother's Day forecast. This cold front will be dropping southeast briefly. A lot of the storms are going to be expected across southern sections of our weather coverage area. Let's show you the future track. As again, this isn't perfect, but it shows you it'll be quiet and beautiful during the day. Get out tomorrow. It'll be fantastic, including for Razorback baseball. But here we go again. Another round of storms coming in. Notice this is after midnight into the morning hours of Mother's Day. And unfortunately, that energy could stick around and we still could see some showers and maybe a few thunderstorms lingering throughout the morning into the afternoon. This is the severe weather risk. You can see a level 1, but now they've upgraded this to a level 2 across Scott County as well as southern LaFleur County. Timing of this going to be mainly Sunday morning into the early afternoon. And you can see that on the 2-day forecast timeline. So Saturday night, maybe a few showers rolling in, but most of that will be after midnight. So there you can see beautiful day on Saturday until we get into Mother's Day morning, headed out to church or do any other activities such as Sunday brunch. You might want to be indoors because rain and thunderstorm activity, including severe weather, will be possible. For tonight, those storms are going to be moving out and we will be getting a lot quieter, so that's good. Tomorrow we're in the lower to middle 80s, so it will be warm and it will be humid too, especially in the River Valley second half of the day. Mother's Day, there's that chance of rain, and we've been talking about that for a while now. It might not be a wash the entire day, but there could still be some lingering showers and storms. But how about some warmer weather coming and, of course, more activity? And why not on a Friday again? So there's a look at that Northwest Arkansas forecast. River Valley, you guessed it, summer pays an early visit. Those temperatures will be hitting the lower 90s with heat and humidity, some isolated showers and storms, and more storms on Friday. We'll be right back with more KNWA News at 10. Okay.
Chief Meteorologist Dan
Yeah.
Scott's forecast for your Mother's Day weekend.
Golly.
Obviously, we're in a break right now.
But then he takes a picture of it in his garage.
I love the double screen views.
Oh, might not have known about it. That's why we cut in. Had to do. We killed their fox.
This happened a while back. We take a
I'm
picture
gonna
of
bring your attention to Mega Doppler now.
My mic is on still.
So Mega Doppler still have the severe thunderstorm warning that's entering into far southern Sebastian County. That's going to be allowed to expire.
You still on? Yeah, we can probably drop off of this.
Yeah, not
That
impressive.
warning's dying out.
Yep, and that'll be the last of it. Nothing else. Nothing else out west. Stratiform rain to the east. Not even lightning with this cell. Wow, yeah. One bolt.
What, in the northwest of Scott County?
Yeah, there's one bolt.
Let's see if we see a bolt on Morgan. Let's see really big.
Yeah. Bring that up.
When you say the audio is low, are you talking about me or are you talking about Davion? It might be you. Your mic is, yeah, it's really low. You want to put it a little higher up on the tie. That's going to be a lot better. I'll put it up there. Yeah.
Check.
That's probably going to be a little bit better.
I'm also talking low because.
Yeah, we're talking low because we're in the middle of the newscast, so that's another thing. Just to let you know, I forgot to mention this, but you got about nearly 3,300 customers without power in Sebastian County.
That's come down a little since right after the storm. It was close to 4,000 about 30 minutes ago.
Greenwood, you're done. Everybody's done. Severe weather threat is over.
Yep, they dropped the warning.
Yeah, so we're going to drop this live stream. We're almost done with the broadcast, but that's going to be it for tonight. So, in fact, the warning's been dropped.
Yep.
So I'll tell you what, we'll close out this newscast. Is this the final block or no? Okay. What do you have before? Okay.
That looks like soap.
Yeah. Where was that at?
This is Fort Smith. This is Sky Park Drive.
I would say there was some 2.5 inch hail.
Yeah,
in north of Salisaw. Okay, stand by here.
That sounds like
Well, it's called a scam, a joke, and one of the most famous mix-up in Texas history. But more than a century later, Wichita Falls, world's littlest skyscraper, is still standing and still drawing attention worldwide.
In tonight's Spirit of America, Tishan Dawson looked at its history and shows us how the tiny building became part of a much bigger American story.
It's not tall, it's not grand, and it's definitely not what investors expected.
It didn't start out as the world's littlest skyscraper. It was one of the oil field scandals, or schemes, you might say, when there was a lot of money floating around in Wichita Falls back in 1919.
Back in the early 1900s, during Wichita Falls' oil boom, big dreams were everywhere. And this building, named the world's littlest skyscraper, was supposed to be one of them.
What we didn't have was office space, and everybody was fighting to get office space. We had companies like Halliburton down here with offices, and every oil man who had made a bunch of money wanted his own personal little office. So Mr. McMahon drew up plans to build a skyscraper. But what they didn't know is he made up the plans in inches.
A simple detail, inches instead of feet, turned big expectations into a small reality.
So what they ended up with was a building that was 10 feet by 18 feet by 40 feet.
A mistake or a scheme that turned into one of the most talked about stories in Texas history. And today, the story is still being told, just in a different way.
My husband and I walked into this store about 12, 13 years ago to buy 3 cans of paint. And we walked out with the whole store.
That store was attached to the littlest skyscraper and is now owned and operated by Jan Seville as Hello Again.
This is such an amazing place to operate a business because we get visitors from around the world to come see this little building.
What started as a symbol of disappointment now has become a destination for visitors worldwide, all curious about the world's littlest skyscraper.
I think our farthest away is Australia and New Zealand visitors, but we have from every continent, practically every country has been here. We didn't know when we were first opening this business whether this part of the store was going to be a revenue generator, but indeed it is. A lot of people that do stop just to see the building, their souvenir, they want to get a little souvenir, t-shirt, a postcard, keychain, those kinds of things. And so we have found that probably about 25 to 30% of our revenue is generated from this building from visitors.
From oil boom gamble to small business success, this tiny skyscraper has outlived the expectations that built it.
It is kind of like the American dream. They wanted to be a part of that growth that was happening, and unfortunately, they got scammed. However, their story lives because of the scam. The people who got rich, we don't even know who they are anymore. But the people who got scammed, here they are. We tell their story every day.
And as the nation reflects on 250 years of history, this small building in Wichita Falls is a reminder that ambition, risk, and resilience have always been a part of the American story. Tishan Dawson, KFDX3 News. Again, as the country continues to celebrate.
You're still watching KNWA, just to be clear on that. Hey, again, the area is north of I-40 Muldrow. That's where I'm getting a lot of the messages.
A lot of hail.
Hammered tonight.
They did. They got some big hail, and we were seeing over 2 inches in diameter on
loud.
Include
That video.
Doppler. Yeah, got a little tiny storm moving towards Waldron. Thankfully, that's not a major deal. We'll look at the radar here, and you can see. Let's see. We'll take a look here at Mega Doppler. Storms are coming to an end. Severe weather threats over. More tomorrow night, though. Yay. Yippee.
Yay.
Yahoo.
Perfect.
Have a great weekend.
Happy
Go
Mother's
Hogs.
Day.
Yeah. That's it. Good night.
That's all.
Good luck.
That's all she wrote.
Yep. See you guys. Thanks for watching, man. Appreciate you.
Have a good night.
And if you got any pictures, you know what you can do. You can scan that QR code. You can get the very latest right here. And we would love to see those photos and pictures. So please send them in. If you're still watching the live stream, that's all she wrote. I'm done. Davion's done. Take care. Happy Mother's Day.